tonight, of course, is the Patriots and Jets right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'll be on postgame. Won't be here for the full show. And then we're right back here on Friday night. Whoa! Off the bat, huh? Little throat thing there. Anyways, we're here tonight until 11 o'clock. Skaz is here. He just gave me the side eye. Kind of like, hey, man, you good? I'm good. The phone number is 617-779-0985. And we're on YouTube. That's how we do it. Grab the remote. You hit that little speaker. See the speaker on your remote? You probably have one. If you're driving in your car, I'm sorry. Well, if you're driving in your car, you can pull up the YouTube app and then go to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, and you can just listen live and watch right from there. But if you're at home, you just grab your remote, you hit that speaker, and you go 98.5 The Sports Hub YouTube. Boom. Boom. As simple as that. And you can join the chat. You can chat, and we read the chat all night long. So if you got takes and you don't want to call in, you can certainly have fun with the crew that is in there. There's a bunch of rumors out there right now regarding the Bruins. I'm going to sit on that for a while. Going to sit on that one for a while. We will talk a little bit of bees later as they open up camp tomorrow. There's some Celtic stuff that's going on right now that we'll talk to Brian Robb about later on. And, of course, we're all Patriots-Jets the rest of the way here as we'll talk to Mike Kadlick from CLNS at 8:20 tonight. We got in or out, musings, you name it. We got it all for you right here on the night show here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. But just looking at the Patriots and Jets, this is another winnable game for the Patriots. But when I saw that betting line of 6.5, normally these type of matchups are 3.5. So something indicates here that odds makers think the Patriots have a tough turnaround on a short week. That's kind of where I wanted to start. The coaching matchup has really mattered around the NFL. Watching last night's game, watching this weekend's Patriots game. Coaching mattered. There was an edge. If there was a lot of talent, that was the edge for Seattle. But there were things that Seattle was doing that wouldn't let the Patriots adjust, or the Patriots would adjust and Seattle was ahead of it. I think the Patriots were absolutely outcoached in the loss on Sunday to the Seahawks. But when it comes to the New York Jets, there's a few things here that give the Patriots an absolute shot and somewhat of a recipe against the Jets. The Jets have struggled against the run. They gave up 180 yards to the 49ers in a 32-19 loss. They gave up 130 yards to the Titans in a 24-17 loss. So right there, that's advantage Patriots, right? They have scored 49 points in 2 games. And you think about Aaron Rodgers and their offense, and you would think, all right, they're putting up an offense. By the way, offense around the league is low. Like Geno Smith's 300 yards was tops in the NFL this past weekend. But 49 points in 2 games for the Jets. It was 19. It went up to 24. On a short week, the Patriots, if they give up 23 or more, are they going to lose? Is that the case here? Can the Patriots even score more than 18 points, which is what they average? So right away, the Jets have an advantage offensively. Duh. But they do. Here's a couple of things when it comes to the Jets defense. They had 3 sacks in the 49ers game, but some of it was scrub time. And they had 2 sacks last week versus the Titans. And I think the Patriots might have a shot on that one. The fact that they really haven't been getting to the quarterback and that Jacoby Brissett, although getting hit a bunch, really hasn't been sacked. So the Jets defense in weeks 1 and 2, they could not stop the run. They could not generate any pressure on the quarterback. Doesn't that favor the Patriots? Also, the underneath passes, they weren't great at. They're really good at corner. Obviously, you know who Sauce Gardner is. But just thinking about the Jets offense in week 1 and 2, offensively, their wide receivers are having difficulty creating separation. That's why Rodgers' numbers were under 200 yards. And Rodgers was really under pressure, and the Patriots right now have one of the higher pressure numbers in the NFL. So the Jets had to go back to a quick passing game. And they had mixed results. But you know what? The Patriots last week got beat off a quick passing game. Also, the running backs for the Jets are very good. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, very good at receiving and catching. I think that's going to be a problem for the Patriots. Just last week against the Titans, Hall had 21 touches for 114 total yards and a touchdown. Allen had 9 touches for 56 yards and a touchdown. Well, one of the biggest issues for the Patriots right now is they're without their middle linebacker or their best linebacker in Juwan Bentley. What linebackers are now going to cover these running backs out of the backfield? This will be a challenge for the Patriots. Although the Jets can't stop the run. And although Rodgers faces a ton of pressure, the Patriots, can they protect? Also, can they stop these running backs that are making the biggest plays for the Jets? And how does the secondary respond after giving up 280 yards to receivers last week? Now, here's a couple of things. The Patriots have held their opponent under 100 yards in the first 2 games this year. 70 to Cincinnati, 46 to Seattle. Can they keep the Jets under 100? That's one thing I think they have to aim for. They also had 170 yards on the ground in the season opener and 185 yards against Seattle. Can they do 170 again? It'd be the first time that the Patriots have ever done that in the first 3 games, if it does happen. But the Jets have been very bad against the run. And if the Pats can go 170, 180, they went 180 last week and didn't win the game. Those are the keys to victory. You have to run the football and you have to attack Aaron Rodgers. If not, his quick game, their receivers, and those running backs out of the backfield, the Patriots might not be able to adjust or have the talent to cover. And another thing here is the Patriots are going to want to get Pop Douglas involved and try to get the ball downfield. Sauce Gardner is one of the best corners in the league. It's going to be an absolute challenge for him. The injury report came out today. Vidarian Lowe did not practice. Sidney Sow still not at practice. They're probably going to be without them. You might see Caden Wallace and Michael Jordan as your left guard and tackle on Thursday night on a short week. I don't think this bodes well for the Patriots. 6.5 points, it's a lot. The Jets are never favored. When they are favored, it's bad. I'll give you those numbers coming up in a little bit here. But I think on a short week with the coaching matchup and the adjustments, I think it's going to be a difficult week for the Patriots. But they have a shot. Everyone thought these games they'd have no chance. They do some things that give other teams fits. And the Rodgers, by the way, has not thrown for 300 yards in a very long time. We'll tell you when. On the other side here, we'll get Skaz's thoughts on Pats and Jets as well. And we'll line up the phones for you at 617-779-0985. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
2nd down and 6 at the 26 of the Titans. Empty backfield, 5 wide for Aaron Rodgers. Takes the snap, drops back, 4-man rush. Lobs one down the right side at the goal line, leaping attempt. Wow. Caught, Breece Hall. Oh, that's a Jet touchdown. Breece Hall climbs the ladder, and Aaron Rodgers drops in a perfect dime, and the Jets have the lead.
I'm back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Martin. Here till 11 o'clock tonight. That was Aaron Rodgers finally got a win for the Jets, who looked terrible on the first game of the year. I don't think their defense has really been good, to be honest. But they were better last week when they needed to be. And Rodgers made the plays he had to make. I thought it was all Breece Hall. And their other running back, Braylon Allen. Besides that, they want to get back on track this week. And I'm just looking at the coaching matchup off the bat. I don't like Robert Saleh. I don't like Hackett. I don't like either of those guys. But it is a short week. They've done it before. They've played divisional games before where the Patriots haven't under Van Pelt and Gerard Mayo. So I do feel like it could be a little bit of a challenge this week. But if I'm the Patriots, try not to get cute. Who cares if Pop Douglas isn't getting balls? Run the football until they stop it. Now, you know they're going to try to get cute, and this is what I worry about this week. They already know you're going to run it. They can't stop it. They haven't stopped it in 2 weeks, the Jets. Don't get cute. Don't try throwing the ball downfield now. Don't do it. I'll give you the numbers on Brissett on throwing anything over 25 attempts. He stinks. He stinks. I think he's been very good this year. I'm going to be honest with you. The way he's been able to move around the pocket, he's been really good. Now, is his production there? Is he making explosive plays? Absolutely not. But I just think the way he's been able to maneuver this offensive line, I think Brissett's been good. How do they do it now on a short week with Michael Jordan at left guard and Caden Wallace at left tackle? How? With Layden Robinson at right guard, you're essentially playing 2 rookies. 3 altogether if you want to include Jordan, even though he's been in the league. And Wenu playing really out of position, but he can play tackle. I think it's going to be a tough week for the Pats, but keep it simple. Now, here's another thing I don't want people to overrate this week. Last week it was Geno Smith sucks. Oh, Geno's trash. And we told you all week long he's a top 10 quarterback. We told you all week long. And what did he do? He was the number 1 quarterback as far as efficiency and yards. Threw for 300 yards in the league. He was good. Don't say he was trash because he was good. And you know what? He was 1 step ahead of the Patriots every single time. But don't get it twisted when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. Skaz looked this up last night. Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown for over 300 yards since 2021. He's been overrated now for years. And I know he was the MVP that year, I believe. But his big games of throwing for big yards are over. Now, let's see if I don't know if he can do it against the Patriots. Maybe. I don't know. But here are a couple of things that I think are in the Patriots' favor. This is per Pro Football Focus. The Patriots' pass rush ranks 9th lowest in pressure, but 10th best in pass rush win rate. Josh Uche and Keon White are in the top 10 for pass rush win rate this year. It's per over 25 rushes. Dietrich Wise is 20th. So can the Patriots take advantage of that Jets offensive line? And looking at their line, they've revamped. They got Tyron Smith, John Simpson, Joe Tippmann, Elijah Vera Tucker's back this year, Morgan Moses. They drafted Olu Fashanu in the first round. I feel like they're pretty decent on their offensive line. Can the Patriots get to Aaron Rodgers? Because everyone else has. The Patriots have struggled for a pass rush. And by the way, did you see you had a sack there last night? I think you had a bet on it, right, Skaz?
That would be Mr. Red Sleeves, Joe, Matthew Judon.
Matthew Judon had a sack last night. You're without Barmore. You're without Bentley. Rodgers was sacked 4 times last week. 4 times. Can they get to him on a short week against a rebuilt offensive line? It would be huge if they could. The Pats need a pass rush. As much as everybody talks about the line and the passing game, I don't think you can fix that. I'll just say, I don't think you can fix that. But can you improve your pass rush? Absolutely. And I don't know. The adjustments and maybe Rodgers moves too fast and they can't figure out what they're going to do with their linebacker yet. I still think the Jets have an advantage this week. The phone number here is 617-779-0985. I wanted to just bring up a number regarding the Jets that it's hard for me to think that they're the clear-cut winner on Thursday night. I've told you, the Jets haven't been favored in years. Like, some of these numbers here for the Jets are just absolutely wild. They haven't covered. They beat the Patriots. I believe they were favored once against the Patriots. They're 6.5-point favorites. They've been favored once versus the Patriots since 2022. That was a Mark Sanchez game. But they haven't closed 6.5 or higher since the year 2000. The Jets are 3-23 straight up versus the Patriots since the 2011 season. The history shows that they always struggle against the Patriots. And I know a lot of it had to do with Tom Brady being here. And last year, they got him. They lost the other game, but whatever. The Jets always struggle. Always against the Patriots. So looking at the line, I just looked this up because I couldn't believe it. I had to read it a couple of times there to really dig into this one. But the Patriots and the Jets, the betting numbers, since 2017, the Jets are 7-14 against the spread as a favorite. I don't think that's something I want to bet on there, Skess. 6.5 seems a lot to me. But are these two teams really that far apart? And just think about the future of the Jets, right? Aaron Rodgers could get hurt. He could walk away. He could have some sort of fit. He could get in a fight with his coach and literally walk away from football at all. Just see you later, big boy. The Jets are depending on Aaron Rodgers more than any other player. And he hasn't been good. He has not been good. I just don't think he can show up there on Thursday night and just beat the Patriots. So I'm going to keep it simple for the Pats. Coach Joe over here. Run the football. Who cares about Pop Douglas? Who cares about trying to throw the ball downfield? You'll have 11 days to figure that out when you take on the 49ers. This is the Jets. They always wanted to build a bully. That's what you are, Patriots. They've given up. You've rushed for 170 and 185. Don't worry about throwing the ball downfield. Run the ball. And when you run the ball well, you'll be able to set up play action to then hit the passes that you want. It's a short week. Your linemen are down. Run the football. And then on the other side, rush the passer. Rodgers doesn't move as well as he used to. Again, sacked 4 times last week. Keep it simple. Don't get cute. Don't try to overcoach. You're already at a disadvantage when it comes to the quarterback and when it comes to the coach. Keep it simple this week. run the football. And it will help your offensive line that if you do go down early in the game, let's say you're down 10-0, you're probably screwed. But you're down 10-0, and now it's Wallace and Jordan protecting. Oh, could be a tough day for the New England Patriots. Your thoughts on the Jets? And I do want to get into just the offensive line and what teams are doing against the Patriots. So we'll get into that coming up here on the other side. And if you're out there, the phone number is 617-779-0985. I see the guys and gals in our YouTube channel, Brokerage Babes in there. Ryan, Riz, what's up, Riz? Jay Buck is in there, 420 Fishing. David, Russ Fox, bunch of morning show guys in there today. David, Carrie Ann, Super Joe. Everyone's hanging out. Smitty as well. Come hang out with us in our YouTube chat. We'll have more Patriots chatter coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots and Jets will square off on Thursday Night Football in that practice today. No Vidarian Lowe, no City So, or O'Shawn.
right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
Yeah, this stinks. Look, I said this. I was harsh about this because this is the NFL. He's being paid to play quarterback, to be a mentor, and take those hits so Drake May does not have to. That's how bad the offensive line is. But I said this in the open. This reminds me a whole lot, guys, of Mac Jones last year. Survives against the Eagles, they barely lose. Dolphins, the same thing. Plays the Jets in week 3, and after that, all the pressure breaks the player. It breaks everything. It breaks everyone. If it keeps coming like this, they need to find a way to stem that tide. More quick game, different players, whatever it is, because this is untenable. This is unsafe for an NFL player. And that sounds like I'm kidding. I'm not. Like, that guy is also doing an unbelievable job in a way that's not sexy to talk about on TV, but avoiding sacks, because sacks kill drives. Every time they took a sack, they punted.
No, he's
Sunday.
done an excellent job.
Unbelievable job.
Of avoiding the rush.
He has been hurried or hit 28 times. Only 4 of those have resulted in sacks. And it's not only he's just throwing the ball away. Get rid of it. I'm scared. I don't want this. He is completing passes to Hunter Henry, scrambling, then throwing. Like, this is a guy doing everything he can given the circumstances. But over time, if this keeps up, it will break him.
All right, back here, 98.5, the Sports Hub. That was Andrew Callahan from NBC Sports Boston last night. Very tinny. Probably because he recorded it from his phone, I bet. I just grabbed the audio because I liked it. Basically, he was just saying that Jacoby Brissett, he's been hit a ton, and how long can he last? I don't know. Everybody. I like what he's done through the first 2 games. I really do. And listen, I wanted Drake May at the beginning. I've always wanted Drake May. I understand why they did what they did, and it's the right call. Looking at the league right now, it's the right call. Looking at these other quarterbacks, right call. They got it right. They don't care about wins and losses. You might. They don't. They got that one right. Now, I could be wrong about that if Drake May comes in and they start winning games and it's like, oh, they're in the playoff hunt, but if they won this game or that game, fine, I'll take the L. But as of right now, they got it right. But teams are blitzing the Patriots. And Brissett is running for his life. He really is doing an unreal job. Sacked on 4 of 28 pressures. He's a top 12 QB in QBR and success rate, and it's 0 turnovers. But how long is this going to last for, everybody? Like, for real. How long is all this going to last? And the Pats get a long layoff after this week. They'll play the Jets on Thursday, and then they'll have the weekend off, and then travel to the 49ers. Oh, and they've somewhat have lucked out a little bit. Right? They didn't get T. Higgins in week 1. They, last week they missed out on Kenneth Walker, right? The Jets are at least on a short week without Jermaine Johnson, one of their top pass rushers, so that should help the Patriots, right? Like, that should absolutely help the Patriots. Then they'll get no Christian McCaffrey and no Deebo Samuel. And today, Tua Tagovailoa goes on the injured reserve. They're going to miss him too. Things have been turning up, Patriots. So if you do care about wins and losses, fine. That's you. And that makes you a realist, and I get it. But with this team, you got to look at it as the future. Drake May would have got crushed out here. Jacoby Brissett takes hits. Drake May couldn't. I don't know that. I'm just going to go by an eyeball test. Jacoby Brissett's tough. Dude's tough as nails. And now he's going to go on national television on a Thursday night against Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to fight hard. And he's going to take hits. They'll have time to figure it out when they get to the 49ers. Run the football. Keep it simple. Don't worry about how the receivers are feeling. Test the Jets' defense. They have one of the worst pressure rates in the league. But you got a rookie left tackle and Michael Jordan at left guard. Run the ball. Keep it simple this week. Keep it simple for yourself, Jacoby Brissett. You want to make it to San Francisco. All the talk is, when are you going to get hurt so Drake May can take over? That's the talk, bro. Right? Brissett has been running for his life. Got sacked twice versus the Bengals, 4 times versus the Seahawks. The line is giving up more pressure. But he hung in there, right? Remember last year? Let me just give you a scenario. I'm going to compare Mac Jones to Jacoby Brissett. I'm doing it. You know why? The same trajectory is about to happen. Mac Jones last year hangs in there against the Eagles. Oh, they look better than we all thought. Da, 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 da. Then the hits started coming. He competed against the Dolphins. Then the hits started coming. Then the hits started coming. And then it all fell apart to the point where Mac Jones broke. Mac Jones broke. We watched a man break in front of our eyes because of the offensive line. When will Jacoby Brissett break? Through 2 weeks, he's survived. He's taken big hits. You get the Jets this week. People think that's a good defense. And Robert Saleh is this defensive-minded coach. But through 2 games, they've really done nothing defensively and just lost one of their best pass rushers. And on a short week. When will Brissett break? It happened last year. I don't know how long he can hang on till. And this isn't a get ready Drake May conversation I'm trying to have. I'm trying to bring up the fact that this dude is somehow keeping the team in games despite all this. He's not making big plays downfield. He doesn't wow you. He doesn't, make people in wheelchairs stand up. That's a dig at you, by the way, Javon Baker. But when will he break? I hope it's not this week. I hope it's not. But this dude's been tough. And the same story happened last year to Mac Jones. He broke. Will it happen to Jacoby Brissett? 617-779-0985. That's the phone number if you want to jump aboard. And did anybody watch the game last night? Eagles, Falcons. Notice anything about those two teams? Because we were talking about it all night. Also, 4th down in the NFL. The coaches have been bad. Is it the coaches? Is it the quarterbacks? Is it the coordinators? Because it's not good. We'll give you the numbers of what that is. We'll do that coming up next. I'm Joe Murray. We're here till 11 o'clock. We'll hear from Skaz, too. You listen to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
4th and 1 decision you made to kick the field goal, 58 seconds left or so in the game. Take me through the decision a little bit, because that's got to be a hard one.
Yeah, sure. It'd been great to get it on 3rd down. It was a little bit longer than it comes down to hey, is it 6 inches? Is it a yard? Is it a yard and a half? That plays into what you're going to call, and confidence wise of whether to get it. So, and then only having the 2 timeouts is definitely has a plays a factor. The numbers were about even, analytically speaking. Matter of fact, it actually favored slightly to go for it in that situation.
All right, back here 98.5, the Sports Hub of Joe Murray. That was Michael McDonald. That's the last chuckle I'll get out of that for the year. Talking about going for it on that 4th and 1, and wish he got that on that 3rd and 1. But that clip, do you feel like too many coaches in the league are depending on analytics? Analytics is ruining sports. I'm not going to do that thing today. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the analytics because, listen, I'm one of the first people that will use analytics to help an argument. I get on other people about that too, by the way, because I've been with certain people that can give you their agenda, then use an analytic, and then use the analytic against you when they hate analytics. So I'm not going to do that. And that's not what Michael McDonald did right there. The analytics said to do this, he did that. But just look around the league and how bad things are right now. Right? And just a couple of things to get into before we get into that. Coaching has been everything. Coaching. Belichick at the game last night, former coach, with Matt Patricia, and what happened to the Eagles defense, it fell apart late in the game. But Belichick on both sides there. But just to give you a scenario, this happened early on, and when it happened, Skaz and I both went, why don't you just take the points? But early in that game, they went for it on a 4th down instead of kicking the field goal and missed it. Then up 3 late in the game on a 4th and 1, they settle for the kick, give the ball back to the Falcons, they go down the field and score and win the game. So, you went for it early in the game, but late in the game, you didn't go for it, and you lost. You know who else this happened to over the weekend? The Bengals. The Bengals, 4th and 1 against the Chiefs. They get stuffed. Stuffed. Get the points. Points are really hard to come by in the NFL through 2 weeks. Through 2 weeks, points are hard. Watch the Patriots. It's hard to score. But it's everywhere right now. It's all over the league. I blame analytics. Skaz, your thoughts on the play around the league, what McDonald just said there. And do you think Gerard Mayo has used any analytics yet this year? Or has been in the situation too?
I mean, I think we saw a little bit of it, a little indecision at the end of the first half against Seattle, something that we've been harping on the last couple nights. Just, it almost seemed as if they were too indecisive. They couldn't decide if they were going to try and score points or run the clock out, and they ended up kind of screwing themselves and getting Seattle in good field position there. So I don't know if that's, Mayo and Rothstein going back and forth and the decision taking too long, if they're not on top of that, if they did make a decision and the execution just wasn't right. But if you want to talk about it on a league-wide perspective, I do think it's interesting. You watched the Eagles last night throw the ball to Saquon in a situation where most fans feel like just run the ball. The clock is your biggest ally in that situation. Get it under a minute. That way you go up 6 with a minute left instead of giving the Falcons the ball back with the chance to eventually go and win the game. So, it definitely seems like it's early. It's 2 weeks, but it seems like the analytics are more prevalent than ever right now.
Do you feel as though in that situation, if Saquon Barkley catches the ball and gets the first down, Sirianni and the offense are applauded?
I mean, it's definitely it's definitely viewed at a little differently. I mean, the play call was, if that's any other point in the game, I think the play call is very good. He's wide open. That's a catch Saquon makes, I don't know, 9 out of 10 times easily. It was right in his hands. But at that point in the game, it's just, I think it's too many variables to throw the ball there. You're just asking for something to go wrong.
Why go for it for the fourth, and why not just take the 3 early on? You get a 3-0 lead at home.
They did it, right first quarter. They went for it, and then I think it happened again later in the game too, where they went for it. So yeah, it's just, I'm not a Sirianni guy. I know we both heavily enjoyed the end of that game when we were leaving here last night, but yeah, it definitely seems like the analytics are I don't want to say it's taking over the league, but some head-scratching decisions through 2 weeks.
It's been horrible. Do you know that there have been 200 and let me just give you a Patriots angle on this one. They've scored 295 points in their last 20 games. Do you know what the average per game is if you add that up? 14.8. Like, how have they even won games? It's their fewest points scored over a 20-game span since 1993.
Good year.
Got to get Drew Bledsoe, right? Got to get him. It's been that long. It's been that long, everybody. It took Drew Bledsoe to come in here and change things around. Is it going to take Drake May? Is that what it's really going to take? It's horrible all around the league. So it makes me wonder, is it the quarterbacks that really matter? Is it the line? Is it the coach? To me, I'll still stand by it's the quarterback because it's all I have. Again, Aaron Rodgers I don't think has been great. I think he has been mediocre at best for the last 3. He didn't even play last year. Like, I feel like he doesn't have the love and the urge and all that for the game anymore. He's just going out there because he's Aaron Rodgers, wants to go to New York, still be relevant is how I feel. But for the most part, no 300-yard games. That guy would do that in his sleep. Let's see what he can do against the Patriots on Thursday night. But in the last 20 games for the New England Patriots, 20 games, they're averaging 14.8 points per game. Woof. By the way, do you think Bill Belichick at some point should be held responsible for all this, guys? Because he's doing this media tour. He's doing the Manning cast last night. He's on the sideline. He couldn't be there on Sunday, though. Couldn't be there on Sunday for the 2014 Seahawks and Patriots game. Celebrating that team. But he's just walking around the sideline last night, making little digs at the Atlanta Falcons, how they can't tackle. You know, saying stuff about Hassan Reddick. It's the Jets. They've dealt with the problem. At some point, Bill, maybe you being out of the league is the answer to you were a part of the problem here. The fact that in the last 20 games, because 18 of those were Bill Belichick, right? 14.8 points per game. That, sir, I bet it's the worst in the league. If I really had to look into it, which I don't want to really do much Joe math right now, I bet you it's the worst in the league. So your thoughts on that at 617-779-0985. Dan Shaughnessy wrote an article. Of course, something that's missing from the Patriots game plan. I'll have that for you coming up in a little bit. We'll talk with Mike Kadlick. He is of CLNS Media. Get his thoughts on the Patriots and Jets this week, and we will hear some of that Manning cast as well. Belichick had some interesting breakdowns. Also did bring up that 28-3 loss against the Falcons. Oh, Matt Ryan was there last night. Anybody see him? And what else? We'll talk to B-Rob, 9:20 tonight, get his thoughts. And we're still awaiting some news on the Bruins. Maybe something's about the drop. Maybe. So we'll have more as we're here until 11 o'clock. I'm Joe Murray. Skaz is here as well. And the phone number is 617-779-0985. Let's get your Sports Hub headlines.
WBZ FM and HD Boston. We've got the Patriots covered.
Back in the hunt. He's in trouble. A sack.
It's an all-new season for the Pats, and you'll hear it all right here. 98.5, the Sports Hub, the Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Patriots and Jets will square off on Thursday Night Football. The Patriots practice today. No Vidarian Lowe, no City So. Also, O'Shane Zimenez not at practice. That means they probably all will not play. Of course, Juwan Bentley did not practice either. He's expected to be out for the season with a torn pectoral muscle. The Patriots have released Jalen Reagor from their practice squad. He posted a photo today of a nice-looking car under a tarp. Not a good look. Some other NFL news. Lawrence Guy is signed with the Cincinnati Bengals. Tua Tagovailoa placed on injured reserve. Red Sox, they're playing in Tampa Bay. We're taking on Tampa Bay at the moment. And let's see here. I want to give you a score because, I want to do that. 2-1 Red Sox right now. Middle of the fifth inning. Wow, this game's flying by. Nick Pavetta's on. Is this the last start for Nick Pavetta, you think? With the Red Sox? Headlines. They are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
You want to talk sports? We want to talk sports.
Squeeze the chicken and open the mouth.
It's like we were meant for each other.
This is why you need us.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Big point of emphasis for the Patriots this past week. Gerard Mayo told us better red zone offense. They struggled in that area all season in 2023. 1 for 4 last week in Cincinnati. It's a second and goal to go. Quick snap to Brissett. In the pocket. Fires to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Jalen Polk! His first as a Patriot! And New England takes the lead.
How about Jacoby Brissett on this drive? 2 big scrambles. They convert the first down to get inside the red zone. Nothing cooking with the run, and he showed great patience there. He had Ramondre Stevenson early in the flat. He came off him because he waited for Polk to clear, and it just throws a dart in the back end line.
Dave.
Some excitement. Jalen Polk with a touchdown. Wow, a Patriots wide receiver made a play, huh? In the back of the end zone there, Jalen Polk with a touchdown. Here until 11, we'll talk to Mike Kadlick on the other side. Phone number 617-779-0985. Looking at guys in the chat. We got people in the chat tonight. It's quiet on the phones, though, huh? People like Jalen Polk at Washington. Me too. He was the third option there. Go figure. Now he's like one of the Patriots' best options. We got JP and NP in there. Huh? Riz, the kids are showing up. That's right. Jalen Polk. You're going to see some kids on Thursday night. Caden Wallace going to be playing left tackle, it looks like, on Thursday Night Football. That one's going to be interesting.
Another kid is Braylon Allen on the Jets.
Running back of the Jets.
The youngest touchdown scorer in almost 100 years in the NFL.
Is he from Illinois? I'm trying to remember where Braylon...
Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Because that's a factory for running backs. I know we messed that up. Because we talked about this the other day. Going back to the Ron Dane days, they've had just amazing running backs there.
James White, Melvin Gordon, Jonathan
was really
Taylor.
Good. Taylor was great.
Monty Ball was a legend in college.
Yep, absolutely. But I think Breece Hall, though, coming off the injury and everything like that, he's more of a pass-catching back. I think the Pats are going to have some problems. I really do. And especially with all their changes now, all the changes they have when it comes to their linebackers with Juwan Bentley out. But I'm reading an article, of course, from our good friend Dan Shaughnessy of the Boston Globe. After 2 games, it's clear something is missing from the Patriots' game plan. What is it, Dan? He says excitement. Starts it off with a Z's. The Patriots play the Jets at 8:15 on Thursday night. That's pretty late, don't you think? How are we supposed to stay awake after halftime if New England's rookie coach, Gerard Mayo, keeps game planning as if he's who's Amos Alonzo Stagg? Do you know who that is? That must be a really old reference there. We are 2 games into the season, and the good news is that the Patriots are 1-1, could easily be 2-0. The defense is pretty good. They've not turned the ball over. They've dominated time of possession, and they haven't committed any penalties. But it will be okay to maybe throw a deep ball one time or try a little trickeration, maybe some play action, perhaps just open things up a little bit. Do you know who this is?
Amos Alonzo Stagg, Joe, born August 16th, 1862.
Wow.
Was a head coach for Springfield YMCA, which eventually became Chicago football team, and from 1890 to 1932.
How would I know that?
How would anyone but Shaughnessy know that?
Well, now all of Boston.
Educating the people.
All of Boston heard that, right? The Patriots are Mr. Play It Safe. They buy their groceries at Safeway. They buy safety insurance. They've made Gillette Stadium a safe house. They're all fail-safe. Safe at home. Better safe than sorry. They do the safety dance while listening to the Safe European Home. They play old school football. 3 yards and a cloud of dust. Leather helmets. The T formation. They might bring back the single bar face mask. They've gone from 21st century Gronkowski to Stone Age whoever. This isn't I can't even give you that name either. This isn't a fancy football team, Mayo said after the overtime loss. True that. Against Seattle, New England's wide receivers made 3 catches for 19 yards and were targeted only 5 times. But the Patriots ran the ball 9 of their 11 plays of the second half on that touchdown drive. The starting quarterback is Jacoby Brissett, a 9-year veteran in the NFL, tough, poised, and adept at dodging the rush. Brissett is the ultimate NFL game manager, and the Patriots will never ask him to do anything more. I wonder if they're asking him or if it's him, because May is on his, digging at his heels. Against Seattle, Brissett took a critical sack, 3rd and 6 from Seattle's 21. 4 minutes left. Looked like the Patriots could effectively close out the game with an easy field goal. Instead, they had their 48-yarder blocked. And New England's placeholder, the QB, completed 7 of 18 for 76 yards in the final 3 quarters. Whoa! Brissett went 7 of 18 for 76 yards after the first quarter. I didn't realize that. He threw only 4 passes for 14 yards in the fourth quarter at overtime. He's averaging 135 passing yards per game. No risks, no rewards, says one Dan Shaughnessy. This is the stuff everybody hated about the way Bill Belichick coached after Tom Brady left. Let's sit on that one for a minute here, Skaz. This is the stuff everybody hated about the way that Bill Belichick coached after Tom Brady left. Do you feel that way? Because I do feel that once Tom Brady left and they really couldn't drive the ball downfield, I think people were upset about it. And we're clamoring for a better quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of the we want to see May stuff comes from. It is the excitement, is that part of being a fan. You just want, your team to score some points, to look like a competent NFL offense. And they've been fine through 2 weeks, but we know what Jacoby Brissett is, and I think people want to see the unknown. They want to see Drake May. They want to see him take shots. They want to see Jalen Polk and maybe Javon Baker someday, catch a pass in the NFL. So, yeah, I don't know. The whole league has kind of been awful offensively to start the season. So it's kind of a league-wide problem. I think, topic for a different day. It has a lot to do with how quarterbacks are brought in college and catered to, and running the shotgun and all that stuff, not running pro-style offenses.
I think the offseason has a ton to do with it.
There's no one plays.
That's a side topic.
Yeah, this is a bigger conversation, but you're right. No one plays in the preseason anymore. Look at Lamar Jackson through the first 2 weeks. He's rusty. He's missing throws. He missed, I don't know if it was Flowers or Likely, wide open in the back of the end zone. They could have won in week 1. So, yeah, it's just offense has been very ugly to start the season. And I think it's a combination of things. It's the lack of offseason. It's the colleges catering to these guys at such a young age. Teams are throwing them to the wolves now. You look at Caleb Williams struggling with a bad offensive line.
It's the pressure of ownership and fans. what the Patriots aren't doing, right?
Yes, and I do think they deserve credit for it. They had a plan. Whether you like the plan or not, Gerard Mayo and Elliott Wolf have a plan for Drake May, Alex Van Pelt included. You may not like it. It may be boring. The games may be a slog at times, but they have a plan. They don't think Drake May is ready. And just watching around the league should make you feel better about that plan because of how bad it's looked for a lot of these younger guys and even guys that are, second, third year in the league. Like quarterback play in general is bad this year. I did my, weekly quarterback, rankings. And
who's number one?
There are not a lot of options this week, Joe. It was basically Geno Smith and Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray probably gets it, right?
Both of those guys were awesome this week, but
Kyler wasn't great in the second half last week.
And
he was good early on, but
yeah, and just the league as a whole, I think the passing average, like weekly passing average, is
230.
What it was in like 1979 right now.
Gardner Minshew's the only one to go over 250 in back-to-back weeks. Gardner Minshew, who had to win the battle.
And he played okay, 1 touchdown, 1 pick against a good Ravens team, but he did enough. So, yeah, it's just the league as a whole is having a bit of a quarterback crisis right now.
Oh, it's bad. More on this Dan Shaughnessy article. There's not much time to make any changes this week. They'll see Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. When we last saw Rodgers at Gillette Stadium, he exchanged pleasantries with Belichick while watching the Jets beat New England. That was that snow game that I gave tickets to somebody in the random hallway. New York got smoked by the 49ers, he says. The Jets defense could not get off the field, turnovers, whatever, and then they win last week. New York's QB game show host beat the Titans Brady style with an old-fashioned 74-yard touchdown drive. With the game tied at 8:41 left in the game, Rodgers put the Jets in the end zone on 7 plays, completing 5 of 5 for 60 yards. The statement drive included big boy throws to Garrett Wilson for 26 yards and Mike Williams for 19. It was everything the Patriots can't do, says Shaughnessy. New England simply doesn't have the quarterback, the wide receivers, or the game plan to produce the kind of drama. Thursday's joust in East Rutherford, New Jersey will be the Patriots' only night game of 2024, televised nationally on the hard-to-get Prime Video. I love this man. In the autumn of 2024, ESPN and NBC want no part of New England's smash-mouth established-to-run football team. One masters of prime time, the Patriots are black and white, 12-inch, whatever that means, the rabbit ears, and a color-drenched 98-inch Samsung World. He's the best. Nobody can write better than that man. But he's right. This is the only game we'll get this year on primetime. They have no quarterback. They have no line. They have no receivers and no game plan. Yet they have no business winning the games, but they've been in every one of them so far. And I'll say one more thing. The Jets have no business being favored against anyone, but I think they should be this week. We'll talk to Mike Kadlick of CLNS Media. We'll do that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Trying to get back on clock here. It's like sometimes we're a minute and a half off, 2 minutes off. Trying to play the cards right over here with this clock. But some breaks are different than others. Speaking of breaks, the Patriots certainly are getting one over the last couple of weeks. T. Higgins, Kenneth Walker, no Jermaine Johnson this week. Next week, no McCaffrey or Deebo Samuel. And then the news today, Tua Tagovailoa will go on injury reserve for the Dolphins. So the Pats, realistically, have had somewhat of an easy, well, I shouldn't say easy, but they've caught a break. They've caught a little bit of a break here. Let's talk more Patriots and Jets. Talk to Mike Kadlick. He's of CLNS Media, joining us here on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. What's going on, Mike?
What's up, Joe? Happy Tuesday. I got my days all screwed up now that we got a Thursday game, but yeah, how we doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how are you on a short week? You were there on Sunday. You watched the game, and now you're all discombobulated today. How do you feel about the Patriots' chances on a short week, and what happened at practice today?
You know, it's funny you say that because, and obviously, the life of someone covering a team, it's not nearly as maybe it's as time-consuming, but it's not as, hard on the body, and you're not, traveling back and forth all the time and getting your body clock right, all that stuff. But, my week is a little screwed up because, you take in the last game, but then you also got to look forward to the next game, and you got to do game previews, and you got to do all this other stuff. So I can't imagine having to actually play in the game, then turn around and go on Thursday. So it'll be – look, I think they can win this game, and I don't think it's I think I say that because the Patriots are a team that you saw it last week against Seattle. You obviously saw it week one against Cincinnati. They're a team that's going to grind it out of you, and they're going to try and run the football. They're going to play pretty good defense. Now, we can talk about last week and how the run defense was good, but they didn't hold up Geno Smith's end of the bargain. By any means, he had over 300 yards passing. But long story short, and I know we'll get into it a little bit more, I think that a Jets team with an Aaron Rodgers who is still really good, but not as mobile as he used to be, a run defense that's subpar, that's led up a couple 100-yard games to both the Niners and the Titans, and the Patriots defense overall with Christian Gonzalez. I think that's a pretty good matchup on Garrett Wilson. So I think it's winnable. Now, will they win? I don't know. The passing attack has to get on a better page, that's for sure. But I don't hate the matchup for them this week at all.
No, me either. Here's what I would do on a short week. Keep it simple, right? Talk about trying to get Pop Douglas involved. Talk about trying to go downfield. Talk about those type of things, but stick to what you've done. 170 yards, 180 yards on the ground. Now going up against a team that's had back-to-back weeks where they haven't been able to stop the run. Why go against that at all? And here's the other thing. Aaron Rodgers, you mentioned he can't move as well. The dude doesn't throw for 300 yards anymore. He hasn't done it since 2021. So continue the rush, and I saw some of the numbers today. Josh Uche, one of the top in the league, right? Keon White's getting in there. Even the D-end that they have, that's been there forever, who's a cap, Dietrich Wise.
Dietrich Wise, there you go.
they get in the backfield. They're getting pressure. They're just not getting sacks. Can they do that this week? If they do, I think they got a shot.
Yeah, I think so too. Keon White has been an absolute monster. Incredible. He's supplemented the inside rush that Christian Barmore's had brought, and he's also supplementing the edge rush that Matthew Judon's brought. Now, you're right. I think he has 3.5 sacks for 2 games, which is obviously very good. Not up to pace with guys like Aiden Hutchinson and Greg Rousseau and what have you, but he's playing very well. You got to get after Aaron Rodgers. You have to make, like you said, play it simple. I think that's the name of the game on both sides of the football, because even last week, and we broke this down today on our film show, me and Taylor Kiles, how when the Patriots got into unique disguises in the back end with their safeties and their corners, and they did some sort of cover 2 switch between Duggar and Gonzalez, one of the plays, DK Metcalf goes for a 50-yard bomb on a miscommunication, and another play, they almost let up another one. If it weren't for Dietrich Wise tipping the ball with the pass rush, it probably goes for another touchdown. And so Christian Gonzalez was at his best last week when he just played straight-up, smart, technically sound football, and they didn't get too fancy with it. They didn't get too cute with it. I think that's the name of the game on the defensive side of the ball. And offense, the same thing. You're 100% right. Pound the rock with Ramondre and Antonio Gibson. You don't want to put too much tread on Ramondre's tires. Supplement that with some Antonio Gibson carries. And then, as far as the passing game goes, like, they've had some guys open, but it's going to come down to that offensive line, which we've talked about ad nauseum on this show. Everybody's talked about it, throughout the entire season, where if they can just figure out a semblance of an offensive line, this offense should be able to figure it out. But it starts and finishes up there. Like, again, I mentioned there's some wide receivers open. Jacoby Brissett doesn't have time to find them and read it out, and so then his internal clock is sped up, and even when he does have time, he's bailing out early. So it really stems from there. But if they can get the ball out of his hands quick, run the football, again, like I said, I think they have a pretty good shot.
All right, talking about Mike Kadlick from CLNS Media. What do you think the line will be on Thursday night, the starting offensive line?
So right now it looks like Vidarian Lowe didn't practice again today. Tomorrow, I think we may get some sort of injury report, but he, again, as of today, did not practice. So I believe that we're going to have a look at rookie Caden Wallace at left tackle, Michael Jordan, who was just signed to the 53rd-man roster yesterday at left guard. David Andrews is obviously going to be center. Layden Robinson, yes, he's banged up right now, but I think he's going to be okay. I would expect him to play. And then Mike Onwenu at the right tackle position. So you're now going to be on your third starting left tackle in 3 games, which is just obviously not a good sign. We talk about it. You want those guys to see the game through one set of eyes, and if you're continuously having to rotate those guys through, that's not going to happen. So while I like the fact that we're getting a rookie in Caden Wallace some serious run here, it's nice to get him some reps. I don't know what that's going to look like against a Jets pass rush. That they're not what they used to be, but it's an NFL pass rush, so it's not the best landing spot for a guy's first start.
All right, so you said one set of eyes. I wanted to set up a scenario. Remember last year, Mac Jones under center, week 1, they lose to the Eagles, but he got hit. He got hit against the Dolphins, right? Started taking more hits.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a broken Mac Jones last year.
Yeah, we did.
What's the difference between last year and this year through 2 games?
As far as Jacoby Brissett?
No, I'm just saying, I think Jacoby's going to break at some point, too.
Oh, no, I 100% agree. I think that's part of the reason why he's in the game, is that they're going to let him be the crash dummy, the test guy. Get him out there, let them figure it out through, the first couple weeks, and until they can figure something out, don't put Drake May out there. And I guess we can use Jacoby Brissett, and we can break Jacoby Brissett because he's 31 anyway. We signed him to a 1-year deal. Jacoby Brissett knows why he's here. I think that's something some people don't really realize.
I get it, Mike. It's just that. So where's the improvement? You drafted a quarterback. That's it. Let this guy get in here and be the crash test dummy, and then you got your quarterback, and then next year you did. Chuks Okorafor was the guy that they went for, and he's AWOL.
They completely swung and missed and botched the Chuks Okorafor side, and that's for damn sure.
But it's just, what's the difference from last year to this year besides Mayo being the coach?
Well, the quarterback's a massive part of it, Joe, and I think we've gone over this on this show.
Yeah, but
before,
the quarterback right now is Jacoby Brissett.
Yes, but it's going to be Drake May, just like in Green Bay. And now, granted, it's Aaron Rodgers, but it was Aaron Rodgers. It was going to be Jordan Love. All right, now I gotta flip this on its head for a second, Joe, because you just said that last year, Mac, we saw a broken man, and they broke him down behind a bad offensive line. But now you're saying that Jacoby shouldn't be out there, would Drake?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying we're seeing.
You're saying why is Drake May here if he's not going to play? So you're saying he should go out there and play.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we just watched this happen with Mac Jones last year. Now we're watching it happen to Jacoby Brissett because why? They're not upgrading their offensive line.
So they should have drafted a tackle.
I'm completely fine. I'm completely fine with Brissett playing. Maybe you're missing my point. It's the same exact thing. Oh, yeah, they're playing tight games. Oh, wow, they look way better than we thought. No, the quarterback's getting his ass kicked on a weekly basis, and he won't be able to be upright, and they're going to break him too. Why? So they can put Drake May in and break him towards the end of the year, and then next year they get all the linemen and make it right? Like, the whole thing is a disaster.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. The offensive line is a disaster. It's not working. The run game's fine, the pass game's not. And it's a passing league, and you need to be able to go out there and get 15 yards on a completion on 3rd and long if you have to. You need to be able to not just run the ball, but be able to run the ball and then set up play action and have enough time to throw a football down the field. And they don't have that right now. And that's on the front office. And I don't want to give them a pass yet. I don't think I have given them a pass just yet. So the one thing I will say is that good offensive linemen in this league are hard to come by. Everyone talks about Kingsley Suamataia, the kid from BYU. He's a rookie. The Chiefs drafted him. Everyone's saying, well, the Chiefs got their new starting left tackle, and the Patriots sat on their hands, and they didn't go get that guy. Instead, they drafted Caden Wallace. They didn't move up, and blah, blah, blah. They didn't try in the draft, whatever. Kingsley Suamataia started game 1, got benched in the middle of week 2 last week because of how bad he is. They brought in Wanya Morris and put him at left tackle instead. So I know people aren't saying Kingsley Suamataia, and I don't know how many times I can say that in one segment, but I don't think people necessarily thought he was going to be the savior, but they thought he was going to help, and here we go. He's getting benched too. So good offensive linemen in this league are hard to come by. Now, could they have done more? Yes. Should they have done more? Yes. But if they spent money on, who's the guy on Tyron Smith now, the guy that's on New York. Like, first of all, he wasn't going to come here. But second of all, even if they threw a bag at Tyron Smith and said, we're going to overpay you to be our left tackle, A, he's not as good as he used to be, and B, it would be a one-year rental. So I still think these guys need some time to develop. I'm talking about Caden Wallace. I'm talking about Layden Robinson.
They've had time.
And let's see where it goes.
They've had 5 years. they've had
not the 5 year. No, I'm not doing the 5-year window again with you, Joe. It's a new team, a new head coach, a new front office.
But you agree that it's the same exact breakdown as last year with the first 2 weeks of the season, with the quarterback getting crushed.
Yeah, the quarterback's been crushed for the last 2 years. They haven't done enough to upgrade the offensive line, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not giving them a pass on that one. I know. I won't do it. Hey, why do you think the line is 6.5 for the Jets?
They're at home. They finally got a win under their belt last week. People are higher than they should be on the Patriots. People are lower on the Jets than they should be. So I think that's the books just saying, well, hold on now. This is still Aaron Rodgers and a Jets team that's got a lot of talent, and a Patriots team that's got to go on the road on a short week. Who I know they won week 1. I felt like there was at least that was the way they could win football games, but it's still the Patriots. It's still probably a bottom 5 to 10 roster in football against the Jets team that has a lot of good players. So I think that explains the line. I think that's probably a right line.
So it's a divisional game. It should be 3.5. If you want to add 2 points because of the Jets being at home, fine. But I just look at it and say the Jets as a favorite. Their last 21 games, they've won 7 of them. Like they should not be favored. They haven't been favored against the Patriots since 2011. Wow. Like I just look. I saw that number 6.5, and I go, Pats. But it also makes me think that maybe odds makers think it's going to be a bad week. Here, just a couple more. I think coaching really had coaching all over the NFL has been horrible everywhere. But
where are you at with your boy Gerard Mayo now? Who I thought he couldn't coach. Can he coach?
Well,
how has he looked through 2 weeks? I think he's looked pretty good.
Well, I thought he was bad during both halves. I thought he was. I actually, you know what? I don't know who it is, to be honest with you, Mike. I don't know if it's Mayo. I don't know if it's Van Pelt. I don't know if it's that dude in his ear on a 4th down. You know what I mean? I don't. No. So to be fair to you, no. But does the team want to play for him, and do they have the mentality of their coach? Yeah. But do I think that they handled everything, and were they really just complacent and throwing short? Like yeah.
Right.
They're boring. They're boring.
I agree.
So there's nothing about Mayo to be like, But I will say he got outcoached last week. They went on an up tempo and they couldn't adjust. And the McDonald was just a little bit more faster than Gerard Mayo because I think he's been a coordinator before, So I think all those things happened last week. But now it's Robert Saleh on a short week who's been here before, who I don't think is a good coach, by the way. I don't. But he's been here before.
Yep.
And just one more thing. They've been so conservative. Do you think Brissett's conservative to not turn the ball over because that's the kind of player he is? Or is he worried about turning the ball over and then everyone crying about Drake May and playing?
I honestly don't think truly he cares about Drake May in his ear, in his shadow, what have you. I think that's the kind of football he plays. And for example, in week 1, when he threw that jump ball to Hunter Henry that almost got picked off, I think he says, well, maybe I shouldn't try that again because next time it's going to get picked off. Because there was a play on Sunday against Seattle. He had Austin Hooper in a one-on-one against the D-end covering him on a corner route. And yes, the offensive line collapsed in front of him, but he had an opportunity to throw him a jump ball, and he decided not to. So I think that he's being more conservative. He's yet to throw an interception. He's trying his best not to put the ball in harm's way, because I think that's what's being put in his ear from Alex Van Pelt and company as well, where let's not put the ball in harm's way. Let's not turn the football over. Let's run the football. Let's be smart. We'll make good decisions. This offense. Run it through as best you can, and if you're not absolutely positive about where you're going with the football, take a sack, throw it away, etc. So that's kind of where I'm at with him. I don't think he knows why he's here, and that's kind of what I was saying before. He signed a 1-year, $8 million contract after the Patriots knew they had the number 3 overall pick and essentially decided we're taking a quarterback. I think they were upfront, honest, and transparent with him on that, and I think he knows that he's here to be that bridge quarterback and that they're going to make a decision, maybe regardless of how good or bad he's playing at some point. And so I think that's just the way he plays. He should take some more shots. I think he has some more shots in there, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Skaz just sent this over. Ben Fox, our buddy, betting analyst. The Jets currently 6.5 right now on Thursday Night Football. It's the biggest favorite the Jets have been versus the Patriots since 2000.
Wow.
It's a lot of points.
I mean, it is a lot of points. It's a lot of points, like you said. Divisional game, 3.5 might make more sense.
Did you see the league this week? Any dog of 6.5 or more all won outright. Well, except for the Bears. And
who else was a 6-point dog?
Falcons.
Atlanta last night. Yep.
Saints.
How about the Saints? Huh?
Yep. I'm trying to think of more. Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I got more for you, but.
Was it Minnesota against San Fran?
Minnesota was, and also Baltimore. The Raiders were.
Oh yeah, wow,
8.5-point dogs. So yeah, every single big underdog of 6.5 or more won outright this week.
That's wild. Hey, do you look at the Bryce Young situation and think of that as maybe a reason to not throw Drake May into the fire right away? Because that guy,
absolutely,
through 17 starts, already seems like a broken man.
I'm fully on board with Drake May not playing, and I think the Patriots are validated on it. I'm just trying to point out the fact that the way we felt last year about the Patriots is like, wow, they maybe they don't suck as bad as we think they do. But what happened was the line just kept brutally beating up their quarterback to the point where he broke. Well, if Jacoby Brissett breaks, is it Drake May? I mean, he's getting how many reps did he get today? Do you know how many reps he's gotten since the 30% report?
I don't. I have no new information on that.
You got to get a pencil out. Get a pencil and track it all for me.
I wish we were allowed more practice time. We basically only get to watch stretch now. They shut it down during the season.
Hey, what's your favorite frozen pizza?
Favorite frozen pizza?
There's an article up at 98.5. I'll let you think about it. There's an article right now up at 98.5, the Sports Hub. I didn't do like 1 through 10. I just gave you my 10 favorites. So there's no wrong answer.
I mean, I think DiGiorno is the closest to like a legit pizza frozen-wise that there is. They got the good crust. They got the big crunchy crust.
It's the rising crust.
Yes, exactly.
And their Ronies are very good.
Yeah. You know what I'm not a fan of that people love is Elios.
Wow, really?
Like, it's pretty good. It's edible.
How do you cook it?
Throw it in the toaster oven.
See, that's a toaster oven pizza.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not huge on it. Like, it's good. It's pretty good. But like, I don't like that there's no crust. It just feels like a piece of bread with melted cheese on it, kind of.
I like.
I like it, but it's not one of my favorites.
So I like the Stouffer's French bread.
Oh yeah,
You know.
that's another toaster oven pizza.
Yep. But lately I've been going with the what is it called? It's the cauliflowered pizza.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's a certain brand that I'm trying to think of at the moment. It's the open.
So you know what?
It's Open Nature cauliflower crust.
Does it actually taste like pizza?
It's amazing. They also make a really good chicken Alfredo as well.
Ooh.
By the way, it's the new spot around your way. You got to go say what's up to my guy Steve. It's called How's Your Meat. It's right in West Roxbury.
Where is that?
Grove Street and Washington.
Okay, I will stop by. I'll let him know that Joe sent me.
You just let me know in advance and tell him Joe.
Sounds like a plan. Love it.
All right, man. You got a prediction?
I'm gonna go 21-17 Jets.
Okay.
Pass cover, Jets win.
He's Mike Kadlick, everybody, of CLNS Media. And he likes the Jets to win, but the Patriots to cover this week. Sounds about right.
Sounds good. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you having me. We'll talk to you soon.
We're going to argue about 5 years again.
Yes, we will. Yep. We'll make it a tradition here.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you, bud. All right, it's Mike Kadlick, everybody. CLNS. I keep trying to tell everybody what happened last year, Skaz. Remember the toe on the line, lost by 5, and then the Dolphins, and they're in it. They're in it. And then their quarterback got crushed. And then was broken and went to Zappy. My guy. Surprised he hasn't been picked up by a team yet off the practice squad. Still waiting for that one, though. When's the trade deadline? Week 5? Week 6? Anyways, let's get your Sports Hub headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, well, some people told me they still care about the Red Sox, so I'll tell you what's going on. They're losing 5-2. Nick Pivetta got the start, 4 2/3, 6 strikeouts. Cheers.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
When I got back to the hotel, the game happened to be on in my hotel room. It was like about the start of the third quarter, and I said, you know what? I need to sit down and watch this and make sure that we still won it, because maybe that was just a dream. I also remember Blank down on the sideline in the fourth quarter, celebrating when they were ahead. So,
You saw that?
No, yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
You saw him?
Well, I mean, he's a pretty good dresser now. Like, Arthur always looked sharp, but, he was down there on the sideline, and we were getting beat, and I'm like, Jesus, but...
Shots. Oh, Bill Belichick. Taking shots all night long on the Manning cast. Because, of course, was down on the field before the game. Back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Scass is here. Manning cast last night. Bill Belichick taking shots at everybody. How about another shot at the Atlanta Falcons? This is him one just kind of saying during the game that Atlanta can't tackle.
Over the middle. Oh, my God, wide open. Good run. Can't tackle him. See,
Bill, what is that? Is that not playing in the preseason, not tackling enough? Why does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was the same issue last week. They didn't tackle very well against Pittsburgh.
Shots. Oh, he's petty, Skaz. How do you feel about petty Belly?
I'm a fan.
You like Petty Belly?
Yeah, I think he's I think he was very, obviously we didn't get to see it. We were here. I recorded. I watched a little bit of it last night and a little this morning. He was tremendous last night. He was really enjoying himself. I don't know if it's because it was the Falcons. I think there's a little bit of Schadenfreude in there. He was really enjoying taking shots at a team he beat in a Super Bowl, a team that appeared to have rejected him in the offseason. And yeah, he's with Peyton, a guy he, obviously respects a ton. Eli as well, obviously, him and Eli a little back and forth a couple of times, which is good. But yeah, I think, Belichick is, we talked about this in the offseason when he started taking all these jobs, that he's doing this to keep his name out there, to kind of rehabilitate his image league-wide from how the last couple of years in New England went. And I think he's done a really good job. I mean, all the takeaways from last night, even the national media just raving about listening to Belichick break down football. And we all knew. We saw the NFL films with Ed Reed and stuff like that. We knew he was capable of this, but it was just how open was he going to be? And last night shows you that when Bill wants to be on, he can be on.
All right, let's hear another one here. Of course, he's on there with Eli Manning. I wonder how Belly Petty or Petty Belly or Belly Petty. I like Belly Petty. How does Belly Petty feel about one Eli Manning?
I just have one quick question. Do you happen to have like a dartboard in your house, the picture of Foles and I on it that you just throw darts at all the time?
Yeah, I got 3 dartboards, 2 of you and 1 of Foles. Yeah, I got 3.
There it is. Yeah, right in the head.
Yeah.
Perfect game. I really didn't want to talk about it, Coach. Peyton makes me do that kind of stuff.
I really appreciate that. Fly,
we
Eagles,
have our
fly.
truce.
There they are.
We have our truce.
Belly Petty. Nick Folk, huh? Talking to him on the sideline last night.
Yeah, they were chumming it up.
I don't know how Brady feels about that. I'm sure Brady's got 6 rings to just be like, What else? Oh, did Bill, you already got the 28-3? You already did that one? How about the...
There's a longer cut on where he kind of talks about 28-3 if you want it, or they asked him on whether or not he misses coaching.
Oh, let's hear that. I like that one.
Coach, do you miss the coaching, or are you enjoying the breather?
Look, I enjoy every day. Every day is a great opportunity, so I try to take advantage of the opportunities that I have. I've spent a little time, on the field out in Washington, and watching what those guys do up close, but also, seen a lot of film, talked to a lot of people, and I've just gotten involved in different aspects of the game. Saw a great high school game in August, so doing some things that I haven't done before. It's all been good.
And that was with Scratchy.
Yes, one Jim Gray.
Is it still called Let's Go?
That I don't know. I've not dove into Jim Gray's podcast, the new podcast.
In your opinion, Skaz, who's been better, Belichick or Brady?
Through 2 weeks, I think it's Belichick, but I do think Brady was much better in week 2. And he's getting another Cowboys game, 3 Cowboys games in a row for Brady. But this is a big one. I get it. It's Cowboys-Ravens. It makes sense for another game of the week. So I get it. But enough of the Cowboys. Let's get Brady onto a new team. But yeah, through 2 weeks, it has to be Bill. I think he's in kind of an easier spot too, where he can pick his spots and what he's going to talk about, what he's going to break down. Whereas Brady is pigeonholed into these games, and the Saints destroyed the Cowboys last week, so a little working on your feet there to keep things interesting in a blowout. But I thought Brady was much better in week 2.
Belly Petty. Petty Belly. We got In or Out coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
More Joe Murray coming up.
Need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is
Are you in or out? Someone just told me, Joe, that ish is classic. What do you think he was talking about?
Could be anything, Joe. Could be frozen pizza. Could be Belichick taking shots at the Falcons. Your guess is as good as mine.
The brokerage babe's in there talking about some stuff. Can't comment on that. So let's go to In or Out, Scaz. What do we have tonight?
All right, Joe, a Tuesday night edition of In or Out. Probably no In or Out tomorrow. Obviously no In or Out Thursday. So last one until Friday.
Man, no more In or Outs, huh? And we're going to have a list. Friday night might break early, like 42.
We'll be ready to go for Friday night. We will start in college football for tonight's In or Out. Tennessee announced that they will add a 10% talent fee on all football tickets starting next season. This fee will go to the players, helping fund the proposed revenue share with the players. University of Tennessee estimates per seat price increases averaging 4.5% for the entire stadium. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Tennessee's talent fee?
In. Listen, anything you can do to help start some sort of stream. Listen, the alumni already pays for all these things. So, college kids got to get a little bit of a bump to help the players? You got a problem with that?
This is a hard out for me.
Oh, you're out, huh?
Yes, they made billions of dollars over the last 50 years on college football, and now that you actually have to, pay the people that make you all the money, you're going to start charging your fans more. Why don't you just get creative and, run some ads or sell some ads? Put a patch on the jersey, put something on the helmet. We're 1.5, 2 years into NIL, and we're already going to start gouging the fans because they're cheap.
Well, you can't take it out of the college's pockets, guys.
No, of course not. They can only make so many billions.
That's why I'm in, because why are you going to fight this one?
I'm going to fight it because they made billions of dollars on what was basically unpaid labor for decades. And now that they finally have to, I don't know.
Doug Flutie jerseys are still going in that pro shop over there.
Pay the guys that are making your universities hundreds of millions of dollars. No, let's add 10% to the ticket prices so that we can have a good football team. No, I'm out on this one.
I'm in because the college, they can't lose their money.
I'm sure the University of Tennessee's really struggling for money.
Well, Joe, you want to go see BC versus Clemson? Well, it's $100 a ticket plus the gratuity fee or the
this is like when you're trying to buy concert tickets and then all of a sudden you have the tickets, they're like $60, you get them in your cart, it's actually $160 because of the service fees or whatever they want to charge you with.
I worked in the automotive business for years. You know how many times I dropped the dock fee in there?
Oh, yeah, there you go. The Joe Murray fee.
The dock fee. What's the dock fee for? Well, sir, it's to protect your information. Well, I don't want to pay it. Well, sir, I'm sorry, it's part of the thing. Some dealerships, what they do is they don't include destination in the price. Destination's the service that goes from the factory to the dealership. Well, sometimes it's $800 to $1,000. So the dealerships will discount the car $1,000, but the guy down the street's $1,000 more. They get there and they say, all right, great. Now we just have to add the destination fee. And you go there and you're like, what? I know all about that. Been there in my life. What's next?
All right, Joe, this is something you dropped in Slack earlier today. It was simply a photo of a hot dog covered in cheese. So, Joe Murray, are you in or out on cheese on hot dogs?
In. Cheese, I feel like it might be one of the only things that could go on there. Now, chili could, but this is different, right? Would you put sour cream on a hot dog? No. Do you put mayo on a hot dog?
I suppose you could. I personally don't.
Cheese can go on a hot dog. I wish that the hot dog was full of cheese. I wish I could just bite into it and it was cheese. So I'm in. Cheese belongs on a hot dog. And if they made cheese hot dogs, I would eat that too.
It belongs feels a little strong, but I have no problem with cheese on a hot dog.
They have a partnership.
A cheese dog is what you're...
Yes. Just not the cheese dog, that kind of cheese dog. Just cheese on a dog. In.
All right, Joe, we'll head to the world of WWE for this one. I saw a tweet come up on my timeline discussing who could be inducted into next year's WWE Hall of Fame class, and there was a referee in the picture. I apologize for my ignorance. I have no idea who the man is, so I have to ask.
Little Nate.
Joe Murray, are you in or out on referees in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Thomas Robinson is the ref, and yes, in. Referees should be in. One's already in. It was Andre the Giant's handler was I forget his name, a nice guy. I've met him a couple of times. Can't remember his name. Sorry about that, sir. But he's in. Like, the Hebners should be in. The Montreal Screwjob should be in. So Thomas Robinson, Little Nate, should be in. Every big match, who's the official? Thomas Robinson. He should be in. In on officials. You know what? I also think boxing referees and Big John McCarthy from UFC should be in a Hall of Fame. In.
Joe Murray, pro referee.
Not in baseball, though. Joe West, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
Joe
else,
West.
out.
Country Joe West.
Angel Hernandez, no.
Strong no on Angel Hernandez.
In on Hall of Fame referees.
All right, Joe, we'll head to the NHL for this one. The Toronto Maple Leafs announced Oreo as their new helmet sponsor for the upcoming season. So now their helmets will have Oreo in the classic Oreo font on the side of the helmet. Joe Murray, are you in or out on the Maple Leafs being sponsored by Oreo?
I think hockey needs all the revenue that they can get, Skaz, so I'm in. But you didn't like it the other night when we did baseball, would have them on the side of their head. So why not hockey? What, do they think you should have an Oreo patch on them? Or are you fine with it on a hockey player?
I think hockey, I'm with you on they need revenue. I still think it looks awful. I guess it's funny because it's the Maple Leafs and it says Oreo on the side of their helmet. I'm sure you could get you need a cup to eat Oreos joke in there somehow. I'm sure that's being workshopped on Twitter as we speak. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it looks good, but for the health of the league, I guess I'm fine with it.
Okay, I'm in. Well, have I been out yet? I don't think I've been out yet.
All right, Joe, we'll see if you're in or out on this one. Netflix announced they're coming out with a new romantic comedy, Joe, starring one Jennifer Lopez. It will be called Office Romance, set in a business-like environment. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Jennifer Lopez in Office Romance?
I know nothing, but I'm probably out. I love J-Lo, though.
She doesn't strike me as a romantic comedy lead, though. I can't remember ever watching Jennifer Lopez.
Remember in Living Color, she was a fly girl. That's how she got her start. I like to watch her dance. So I'd like to watch her show. I'm out, though. I don't need anything that's Office Romance, just kind of out.
Yeah, I'm with you there. But, Joe, we will stay with movies. Since the Barbie movie was announced, we've seen other brands start to get in. I think there was rumors of a Hot Wheels movie. Well, Matchbox, if you remember Matchbox Cars, have announced they're coming out with a movie, and the lead of the movie was named today. It will be one John Cena. Joe Murray, are you in or out on John Cena starring in the Matchbox movie?
In. He was in the Transformers movie already. Why not be in the Matchbox? I mean, John Cena's going to beat everybody out these days. John Cena is the next great action hero. Or at least the next star. I didn't like him. I told you this. I didn't like him in The Bear.
I have not watched The Bear. I know people are very upset that Jeremy Allen White won an award for it being a comedy. People saying he's not funny at all in the show.
The best movie I liked him in, he was in Blockers. That was funny. And what was the train wreck one? That one was pretty funny.
If you haven't seen Peacemaker with John Cena is very, very good. An HBO show, and John Cena is tremendous in it. Very funny. You'll start the show and you'll think it's very stupid, but it picks up, and it is a very good overall show. But Joe Murray, we will end with this one tonight. It is alleged that the Big Ten coaches have a group chat. Joe Murray, are you in or out on college football coaches having a group chat together?
But I'm not sorry.
Thomas Robinson, one of the best college basketball players I thought would be a stud in the NBA that turned out to be nothing.
Charles Robinson. Charles. He's got blonde hair like Ric Flair. Also, did you know, this come from Ian, did you know that the Toronto Maple Leafs already have milk on their jersey as their sponsor?
So they're the milk and cookies team.
I can't do cheese on hot dogs anymore, and also cheese on hot dogs has existed for a long time. But the cheese photo that I sent, it doesn't look like what you guys are talking about.
No, it was like melted, nice cheese.
It was like if you were making a grilled cheese, but with no bread. All right, that was fun. We got your headlines here. What's going on with the Red Sox? They're done. Why am I even doing this? But the people still want me to talk about it, so I will. We'll do that next in Headline.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, the Patriots.
Into the end zone.
Here.
Touchdown for the Patriots.
WBZ FM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Well, for all the Red Sox people out there, 5-3 right now, bottom of the 8th inning. Nick Pivetta started. He did have 6 strikeouts. Might be his last start as a Red Sox. 5-3 at the moment. Patriots and Jets practice report today. Vidarian Lowe out. City So out. O'Shane Jimenez out. Juwan Bentley out. They'll play on Thursday night. Also, you know who else is out? Jalen Reagor. He's out. Reagor. I did love his meme, though. Lawrence Guy's back in the NFL after 2 weeks. You know how it works, guys. No more guaranteed contracts, so we're going to see a lot more signings. He goes to the Bengals. Tua Tagovailoa is placed on injured reserve. And the Bruins open training camp tomorrow. Headlines, they are brought to you by the 49th Annual New Hampshire Highland Games and Festival. Get your spot on this Friday through Sunday at Loon Mountain Resort in Lincoln, New Hampshire. Get details and tickets at NHSCOT. So get your Scott on NHSCOT.org. Scott, SCOT. Scott, I'm Joe here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
To us, Boston pride runs deep.
I'm a Bostonian.
This is Boston's home for sports.
Bow, bow, bow.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
A festival, like a Highland Games, like
okay,
throwing rocks around or something. Like you see, like
axes and stuff.
Yeah, probably something like that. If I had to guess.
Okay, love it up there. Some really good food up in Lincoln. Oh. There's one place in particular. It's right near the old Clark's Trading Post. There is a common man out there. But the Woodstock Inn, if you're ever in that area, they have butternut squash raviolis. Oh. Chef's kiss, baby. There's some news on the Celtics today. They signed a guy today, by the way. A big boy. To an Exhibit 10 contract. I looked into him a little bit.
Apparently played well in the Summer League, from what I read.
Don't know how to say his name, do you? Maybe we'll ask B-Rob. Maybe B-Rob will know his name. Who will be joining us next. We'll talk to him. And we'll try to figure out this new guy's name. Coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
friendly reminder that the Boston Celtics are your NBA champions. Do you know where you were 3 months ago today, Skez? You were in that studio, right? Trying to get me on remote with no engineer, with one headset on and one headset off. 3 months ago today. Where was Brian Robb 3 months ago today when the Celtics won the championship? Joining us on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline for Mass Live. How are you, B. Rob, and where were you?
I'm good. I want to hear more about this no engineer story, though.
We were at the Big Night Studio, that's why.
Yes.
But three months ago today, they raised the banner, or they won a championship. Sorry,
they won the championship. Yeah, that was quite the night. That was a late one. I believe I called up Matt McCarthy at I think like 4 a.m. on my way home.
Wow,
from the Garden that night.
I left at 2:30, and people were still out, but the roads were better.
Yes, that was. It was a scene, man. It was kind of nuts. That is 3 months ago at this point, but now here we are, 1 week away from media day. So it's coming up quick.
What's the most wild story of the off season for you? The 3 month off season. The Brown Tatum stuff, the Olympics.
Yeah.
Wick Grossbeck in the sale of the team, and Derek White getting hit in the head at a Colorado game. What was the most crazy for you?
I mean, the biggest upset has to be Derek White getting into a fight. That's I wouldn't even call that a fight. A fracas, a little. But if you're going to pick any player on this team to get into a little bit of a scrum, if you will, he'd be the last guy I'd pick.
Do you know who I wouldn't want to? Joe Mazzulla.
Who? Yes, no. That would be game over immediately.
Do you think he'd ever get on the floor? I mean, remember like Jeff Van Gundy's still with he's still with the team, I believe, right?
No, so Van Gundy actually he's going to be assistant for Ty Lue in the Clippers.
I did not know that. Wow. So okay, Here we go.
Yeah, so that he is. But you're right. Yeah, I wonder that clip will live on in infamy for Jeff Van Gundy, just holding on to Alonzo Mourning's leg or whoever it was in that fight.
Yeah, but imagine like Mazzulla coming on the floor and putting someone in like the cross-faced chicken wing on the ground. A jiu-jitsu move.
It seems like something's going to happen at some whenever. It makes up for the rest of the team not having. There's not a lot of guys that like to mix it up on the court. I think that's probably a good thing for the Celtics. But Joe will make up for that if anyone ever takes goes over the line against this team.
All right, I want to ask you about the sale, but first, just real quick on Mazzulla. CBS Sports came out with the top coaches in the NBA. Joe Mazzulla comes in at 11. Where do you think Joe Mazzulla ranks amongst coaches in the NBA?
Definitely. 11th coming off a championship is ridiculous. I was hard on Joe in year run. I think he had a lot of work to do, but he did. I would put him. I think leaving him outside the top 5 is a tough sell right now. But I could see like 6, 7 would be like the farthest down the list I put him. But he's definitely in the league. He's not obviously the cream of the crop in terms of his track record. One more championship will take care of that in the next couple of years. But given how well that team dominated from start to finish and how well they pretty much embraced his system of Mazzulla ball offensively and buy-in in terms of unselfishness for the stars, that's quite a stretch to put him outside the top 10 at this point. I'd love to go through those top 10 with you at some point, Joe, to see who snuck in ahead of him.
Nick Nurse was on there. Ime was 8.
Okay, come on. What are we doing here?
No, I think Ime's a good coach. I just to not have just won the championship,
exactly.
Even in the top 10 is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be fair here.
All right, so what do you got on this? The New York Post obviously came up with the story. I've heard some chatter. I wouldn't necessarily say credible, but people I respect told me that this could be a plant of a story. I don't know, but this Wick Grossbeck thing and his dad. Basically, the story indicates that Wick was spending Daddy's money, and now Daddy doesn't want that anymore, and there's a rift, and that's why the team's being sold. Sounds like they didn't profit this year, and next year they're going to lose $80 million. Do you have any accuracy or facts on this story, and have you heard anything about the sale of the Celtics?
Yeah, I mean, this is the report of the same people at the Post who came out with the Fenway Sports Group being interested in buying the team, and I think that's been shot down by multiple sources, including Sports Hub's own Tony Maz, I believe.
Yep.
As far as what they're interested in, we'll see. Obviously, time will tell on that front. So I take this story with a grain of salt, Joe, in terms of the quote unquote feuding, if you will, between Wick and Irv here. But the fact of the fact, I mean, this is a lot of it is like, yeah, this team was going to be hemorrhaging money for the next 2 to 3 years with their payroll. Like, that is not news. It was obviously emphasized in terms of like, even this year, they barely made a profit despite, having home court advantage through the NBA Finals. Yeah, that's eye-opening. That tells a story of how important it is, the fact that they don't own their own building and they don't make concessions from the Garden. So yeah, like you're not raking in as much money as other NBA teams that own the rights to the whole operation, which the Celtics don't at TD Garden. So that stuff being reemphasized within the course of the story makes sense. The fact that, Irv might want to cash out here before these huge bills come due also makes sense logically. But as far as what's coming down the pike and the whole feuding goes, I mean, time will tell on that front, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is made a little more dramatic than what we're seeing in real life here.
Do you know if how do you think the players have reacted to this? Do you think it's going to be mentioned at Media Day? Just where do you think the players are at? I mean, they have their contracts, right? So do you think they really care in the end?
Right. No, I think that's the biggest point. And Brad Stevens set it up pretty well for this, of where like everyone's getting paid. And so I think where it does matter, Joe, from the player's perspective is after this season, like this group as composed, they would not be running it back one more time, barring Bezos or someone with Steve Ballmer money coming in and wanting to keep it all together. Like wide expectations talking people around the league is that this was a 2-year window with this group as composed, and it was a very big deal. They won it in year one. It does take the edge off a little bit heading into this season now. But as far as the pressure goes on the players, the fact that everyone's is on long-term deals outside of Al Horford, who we'll see if he plays beyond the season or not. I think that's what mattered most to them. But I do think the sense of urgency of being like, okay, we aren't going to have this much talent around us next year for Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. I think that will probably be on top of mind as this process is ongoing.
All right, talking about Brian Robb from Mass Live, joining us here on 98.5, the Sports Hub. Tatum and Brown have had an interesting offseason. Forget about the Olympic stuff, but Brown, seen working out in the pool, had a rap song. Jason Tatum just did a big tour about his children's book, also did a rap song on the Jimmy Fallon show. So they're out there. They're doing their thing, and they both are already looking towards next season. But is this the rift, the ownership stake? Is that the thing that could separate them besides one of them wanting to go another way?
Yeah, I think that will be, if those two are broken apart, I think that will be the reason why, of the fact that it just becomes too expensive, and a couple years down the line, whoever comes in decides we need to reset, and we can't afford to have two supermax guys in the books and be able to put a contender around them as is with the hundreds of billions of dollars taxes. I don't think the rift of Jaylen not making the Olympic team and Tatum, I mean, obviously Tatum didn't play. Like, I don't think that is, people tried to make that a thing. Like, oh, what was Tatum's response to that? I think that was a nothing burger. And I think they know that adding more titles to their resume, that's what's going to put down them, extend their place in NBA history and add to their lure, which clearly they both need to add to based on the fact that Jaylen was passed over and Tatum was still getting DMP CDs coming off a championship in the Olympics itself. So it's a unique window for those two. I expect them both to be plenty motivated. And I love the fact, Joe, that I think it's November, early November, where the Warriors and Steve Kerr is coming to town. And so the fact that is coming in early out of the gate this season will be great from an atmosphere perspective, coming off a title, since it'll be tough to get the type of buzz, I think, on most Garden games this year that you got last year. But that will certainly be a one on the top of the list for both those guys.
All right, man. Just talk a little bit more basketball here. These Exhibit 10 contracts. Lonnie Walker comes in on an Exhibit 10. He's a true NBA player. But maybe you can explain the Exhibit 10 for some of our listeners. And then today, they have signed Dimitros Skapintasev. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
So
you don't need to worry about him. He's going to be in Maine.
Yeah, that's the main Celtic. But he had a good summer league. He's 7-1 from the Ukraine. Like, it sounds like they got developing players in the minor in Maine while they got their active roster ready to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense. They do need big man in depth, Joe, because with Porzingis out, if something happens to Al Horford or honestly anyone else on the bench, like Luke Cornet, et cetera, like you're going to need someone else in the pipeline. And that's a guy that will be in the pipeline for them. We'll see. You know, he should be dominating summer league because he's in his late 20s and he's played pro overseas for a while. But yeah, that's obviously someone to hope the season and maybe get a call up down the line. And so Lonnie Walker, with his Exhibit 10 situation, pretty much what it means is if he gets cut and he goes to Maine, he gets like a bonus of $75,000 for him. So it gives the players some incentive to go to the G League with their parent club, essentially, if they don't make the team. Now, Lonnie Walker very much wants to make the Celtics 15-man roster, obviously. From what I've heard, he's been there at the Outback Center doing 2-a-days already, weeks before training camps even started. But I think it's still going to be an uphill climb for him to make this team, Joe, because unless he blows everyone away in training camp, like this team in the past has valued flexibility with that 15th roster spot, whether it's you want to make a trade, if someone else gets hurt, et cetera. Obviously, the luxury tax penalties are going to be huge this year. So even if you're carrying Lonnie Walker on the cheap, that's still costing the team an extra $5-10 million in penalties. So, but at the same time, Joe, like you said, he's an NBA player. He put up pretty solid numbers with the Nets and the Lakers the last couple of years. And if Baylor Shireman and some of the other end of bench guys aren't up to the task in training camp, like it's not a bad thing to have Lonnie Walker at the end of the bench. So that'll be a fascinating subplot to see how it plays out in camp. But I think he has an uphill climb to make the team.
All right, and Abu Dhabi, October 4th, huh? You going to make the trip?
I would not be making. I think it's a pretty long trip. I heard it's like 10 hours, like that, 12-hour flight. So yeah, we're gonna stay back. It's gonna be a long season.
I don't know Abu Dhabi. It's a.
I'm intrigued. So the regular season game, maybe.
Send me there. It'd be pretty cool.
We get something in the pipeline for next year, Joe.
October 4th, huh?
Yeah, it's like just 2 weeks away here.
Do you feel like it's enough time to rest
for the guys?
Yeah.
Part of me was like, no, but then you see Tatum and Brown and company going everywhere. And Derek White out in football games. Like, this is I think it's a bunch of young guys by and large. Drew Holiday and Al Horford need to get their rest, but everyone else, it seems like they did their thing. Tatum obviously didn't play too many minutes at the Olympics. That's a good thing. But yeah, there's no doubt that with Porzingis out at the start of the year, I'll be very curious to see how much Joe kind of takes his foot off the gas early on to make sure he's not running these guys on the ground. Because it is. I mean, this is the training camp starts a week before everyone else in the NBA because they're playing these Abu Dhabi games. So that is an extra little wrinkle for them to deal with.
All right, man. What do you think this new Celtics alternate jersey, the City Edition, is real or not?
I hope it's not real.
Me too.
I just caught that. What's your take?
Oh, we're out. We're out.
You're out, yeah.
No, we're out. We were going to save it for in or out, but we waited for you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
So we're all out.
Everyone's out. Clean sweep.
Yeah.
Nothing better, yeah. Hopefully, Celtics have had rough go of it with the alternative jerseys over the years. The City Editions, if you will.
Do you know what else is weird? This is 3 months ago was the date that the Celtics won the championship. And this was the date that The Town came out as well, the movie.
Wow. I bet Joe Mazzulla's got that on
I
the
bet
bulletin
she's
board.
watching it right now. Whose car are we
Celebrating.
taking? We did have a guy one night call in and say that it was his truck that got blown up when after they robbed the banks.
Get out of here.
Some guy called in and said they gave him like a $1,500 or something for the truck.
Wow.
Just to blow it up.
Just to blow it up.
Take it.
That's a story right there. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I did a Saturday. You might have even been there. It was a Saturday show. I was talking about, you know what I just mentioned too, is we used to have a part-timers text chain.
Yes. I forgot about that.
It's gone, right?
Yeah, we got to revive that in some form.
We were talking about how in the Big Ten, all the coaches have a text chain, and I was talking about at work. I used to be on a text chain with you and some others.
I know.
And it's just, I don't know what happened. We just stopped getting. I guess.
Well, you guys got full time. That's what happened.
That's true.
You McCone, you got all these.
I know.
Big timers now, so it's great. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
But it's a convenient exit for you guys.
We need to get the text chain back going for this year for Celtics season. You know.
I know. Well, we'll restart, Joe. I think we get the right faces back on there. We'll make it happen.
All right.
I'm inspired by this.
All right. Well, keep your ears peeled. If you hear anything, let us know. All right, because we're
right.
we hope that a new owner comes in and just fixes everything because, they need a bailout, man. They're making no money. They're making no money. How can you? I get it. They're leasing the property, but how can they not make any money? Just blows my mind.
They need more of those jerseys.
That's right. Got to get. Yeah, maybe this is the one they put out for all of us to hate, and then tomorrow they just drop one on us and we start buying it. I'm in on that one. All right, he's Brian Robb, Mass Live, everybody, giving us the scoop on the Celtics who won 3 months ago today. B-Rob, we will catch up soon. I know training camp is just around the corner.
Great. Thanks for having me, Joe. We'll be in touch.
He's Brian Robb, everybody of Mass Live, and we'll have more coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports. Skaz is here. What were we going to do here on the... Oh, there's a couple of notes regarding the Bruins that we'll have for you coming up in just a little bit. And here on the other side, I've just been kind of racking my brain around this new kickoff rule. We'll tell you about this thing after the headline.
Sports Hub headlines.
Patriots and Jets will play football on Thursday. The practice report came out today. No Verdarian Lowe, no City So, no O'Shane Zimenez, no Juwan Bentley, no Jalen Reagor. You know why? He got cut. No Lawrence Guy because he wasn't on the team. Now he's on the Bengals. And no Tua Tagovailoa. They're not going to see him when they play him because he's on injured reserve. The Red Sox, they're on, but they're over. They lost 8-3, so they're out. And the Bruins open training camp tomorrow. right, back here in 98.5, the Sports Hub. Musings next. All right, so this was something Skaz and I talked about before the show. This new kickoff rule, right? It was supposed to help safety. Did anyone think about how this would help the game? Or if it would help the game? Or maybe even hurt the game? Because I thought this was fairly interesting. All right, listen to some of these numbers here. So, the NFL, the first 2 games of the season, so just over the last 5 years, okay, when it comes to field goal attempts. So, I'll just go over the numbers. For 2020, first 2 games, field goal attempts, there were 18, 44%. 2021, there were 21, 62%, let's call it. In 2022, field goals were 17 of 21. This is actually what they are, 8 of 18, 13 of 21, which is 62%. In 2022, kickers made 17 of 21. This is over 51 yards. Probably should have started with that. So in 2022, 81% of the kicks were made. There were 21 of them. In 2023, there were 26 kicks of 51 yards or more. At 58% were hit. Through 2 games in 2024, kicks of 51 or more are 28 for 31, hitting at a 90% clip. So the kickoff rules are helping the kickers. But is it helping the volume of scoring? For example, with the new kickoff rules, teams get the ball at the 30. They basically only need a 30-yard drive to get to the opponent's 40 and kick a 57-yard field goal. What's interesting, Skaz, is I thought the kickoff rule was going to help scoring. Do you think the 3 points is helping the scoring? Because I don't. I think quarterback plays bad all over. Coaching's bad. Kicking, very good, though. 90%, 51 or over.
Yeah, and it's odd because guys like Justin Tucker have struggled from 50-plus the last few seasons. I know they mentioned that when they were in primetime the other night. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you as, you know, I think it's more about the quarterback play, though, why the scoring is down. And I still think it's early. It's been 2 weeks. I think.
Do you think this is sustainable?
Is what sustainable?
Kicks of 51 yards or more being made.
No, I think that's too high.
Because the weather will come in,
yes.
Injuries come in, fatigue, etc.
It'll go down. It's early. I'm sure, the Lions have a new, Jake Bates is supposedly some stud kicker who can bomb it from anywhere. Brandon Aubrey with the Cowboys has been unbelievable since he took over last year. So, yeah, you're starting to see, specialists, guys that are more distance kickers than before. And with the new kickoff rule, maybe they're just going to blast it out of the end zone. But I still think it's a little early to say that, we're out on the new kickoff rule.
It's the highest number, though, in 5 years.
But I think that's coaches playing it safe to start.
Ooh, okay, because they're not ready because of the preseason. I'm going to harp on this one forever, Skaz.
Sounds like we could make 300 words out of the preseason.
It's a problem. It's not enough time. Skaz, the day I went one day. I was there. Remember, I was there? The number one thing I said when I was there was, I thought Jacoby Brissett looked out of shape. Meaning he was using camp to get into shape.
I think a lot of veteran players do that.
And in his case, remember, they were like, yeah, what have you been doing all summer? Well, I'm playing video games, golfed a little bit.
Sounds like my summer, Jacoby.
No, what I'm saying, though, is it didn't sound like he was training. It sounded like he got his $8 million, and he's like, I'm going to get my ass kicked this year.
Yeah, bulking up, Get some extra padding.
There's nothing wrong with that. The hits he's been taking, you eat more Chipotle, bro. Speaking of that, Skaz, remember we did an in or out on the Oreo cola?
Oh, that's right. Some new products.
Topher is on the line, and he's got a review for us. What do you got, Toph?
Oh, what's going on, boys? How y'all doing?
What do you got, in or out?
We're kind of in on the soda. It's really out on the cookie, man.
All right, let's start with
it's weird.
What's up with the cookie? So is it what's the cookie look like, and what's the inside look like?
So I'll give you the breakdown because I actually did the Joe Murray sniff test.
Okay. Got to sniff it.
Yep, I cracked the thing open. I gave the sniff. It was amazing. It literally smelled like Coke. It was completely weird. And it's double-sided where it's got red on one side, and it's got like either a Coke or a Coke bottle, something like that on the other. But then it's got the Oreo cookie section on the other side. So it's like, all right, great. Then you get the inside frosting, filling, whatever anybody wants to call it. But it's got Pop Rocks in it.
Whoa.
Like if you're a fan of like 80s stuff, or you grew up in the 80s like I did, and you drop the Pop Rocks in, your mouth would basically start popping around.
Did it taste like Coca-Cola?
It does, but it has like a little bit of like an aftertaste, like completely weird.
Okay. So
like it just throws me off.
Out on the cookie, in on the soda. What's the soda taste like? What? So it tastes like Coke with a bit of chocolate?
It tastes like, when you sip it the first time, it tastes like a liquid Oreo. But it kind of fizzes out and just turns into a regular Coke. So it doesn't leave like a horrid aftertaste like the cookie does. But it's, Snap Time said it perfectly. It's carbonated cookies.
Carbonated cookies. So if we had to group them both together, are you in or out?
As much as I love the Oreos, and every once in a while I'll have a soda, I got to be out on these. I mean, I'd say try them for yourself, but for me, it's way too much. I'm out of it.
There you go. Topher, real quick before you let you go, what's your favorite frozen pizza?
My favorite frozen pizza?
Yes.
The Red Baron, man.
Wow.
It's the long ones. They look like the Stouffer's one you did in your article.
Oh, you read it?
Yep, he did
you
the
read
article.
my article.
Great. I did. Why do you think I mentioned to you? You didn't put the Red Baron on there. It's okay.
Thank you, Topher. I appreciate it. We're up against it. Do you know how many people are pissed about? We'll do this in musings. Musings coming up next, and something happened to me today that I'm upset. We'll do it next here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub. Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
I'm upset.
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, Murray's Musing, September 17th, everybody. Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kind of odd. Friend of the show, Ice Cube, 2-time guest of the show. 2 times. Lo mein noodles, maybe a little beef lo mein. I wanted it out of the carton, you know that little carton with the metal thing you're not supposed to put in the microwave. I wanted to eat out of that with a fork, nothing else. I wanted lo mein, beef lo mein. I had a craving for it. I wanted to pick it up and then come to the station. Okay? Place around my way. It's got a good little luncheon special deal. You know what I mean? I try to take advantage of the luncheon special. Luncheon special's like $5.99. I get the dinner combo and it's like $11.99. That's a big difference. On a night show salaries, guys, you know how that works. We gotta cut some corners every once in a while. So I finally decide what I want. I go to order it up front. I put the online order in because I wanted to get it on my way. Now, I did consider going to Dumpling Daughter down the road here. I thought about it, but I thought I gotta get in there early, and maybe I can't wait that long. Maybe I'll eat a little in the car. I'm a car eater. I have a confession. I eat in the car. I love to eat in the car. I eat while driving. I am a car eater. Confession. So, what happened? Put the order in. We are not open today.
I'm upset.
I'm pissed and upset. Here's the thing. If you're a barbershop and you're not open on a Monday, I understand. Because most barbershops, they're not open on Mondays. It's just a thing. Barbers aren't open on Monday. So I get it. It's like I don't know what it is. Barbers, they don't work on Monday. I don't know why, but that's just what it is. I know the rules. It's like a hood rule. I know it. They don't work. I don't go. Monday, out on barber. Okay? You don't get a barber on a Monday. But what's up with not getting my noodles on a Tuesday? What makes Tuesday the day not to get noodles? I want my noodles.
I'm upset.
I was really upset. You know what? I scratched the whole noodle idea. Now I'm out. It ruined my whole day, guys. Have you ever wanted something why would it be closed at 4:00 on a Tuesday?
No Noodle Tuesday for Joe.
No Noodle Tuesday. Oh, that could be a shirt. Why were they closed on a Tuesday? Why? What's the significance of a Tuesday? Is today a holiday? Why don't we look at one of those funky holidays? Today is No Noodle Day. What is today?
Maybe they looked at their sales. Tuesday was their slowest day of the week, and
there's no day on my list.
We'll just take Tuesdays off.
So no noodles on Tuesdays.
Don't shoot the messenger, Joe. I'm just telling you.
So here's what I've learned: barbershops Mondays out, noodles on Tuesday out. What's up for Wednesday? What's going on Wednesday now? Is somebody not open on a Thursday? What about Friday? Saturday? Who's not open on Saturday? I feel like I should call them tomorrow and be like, you know what? I really wanted noodles and you were closed.
You know the one that always bugs me with their hours is the bank. I feel like it's impossible to get into a bank.
Is it 4 o'clock or is it 5 o'clock or is it 6 o'clock? What is it? And what? 3:50? They already locked the door anyway, so you can't go in. What's up with that? Oh, well, you got to go to our Natick branch because they're open until 6 o'clock. What's the difference? What is there, like a geolocation of how long something should be open for? This is a real musings tonight. I've just been finding stories. This one really upset me. I'm upset.
I'm upset.
No Noodle Tuesday. You ever tried to go to a barber on a Monday and they're not open?
Yeah, that's like a known barbershop.
Like
thing,
why
yeah.
though? Like what do all the barbers get
just a
together
slow
on a
day.
text chain and say we're not going to be open on Mondays? Is it like a barbershop like union?
It's like the group text with the part-timers. They're just, no Mondays.
I should have asked. I'm going to ask Ice Cube this next one's all. How many responses? By the way, it only got like 500-600 views on it.
We have gotten calls into the night show tonight that don't want to go on air. They just want to tell me that they read Joe's Frozen Pizza article and are upset with some of the choices that are either on the list or let off the list.
But it's my list.
We had a man upset, I believe, Freshetta. He had a problem that it was not on the list.
I love Freshetta, but it didn't make my list. If I had a top 11, it would have been on the list. Red Baron. I think it's overrated. I prefer a Bobbly. I prefer Tony's over Red Baron. You might like Red Baron, but it's not my list. It's my list, not your list. No frozen pizza Friday? Is that what's going to happen now? But this thing has rattled cages. This pizza list that I did, more people are up in arms about this than a lot of things in a long time. I'll eat the Red Baron, but I don't want the Red Baron. Dude, listen to me. I am gas station guy. If it's a pizza and it's at a gas station, I'm going to buy it. I like Tombstone. I didn't put Tombstone on the list. Tombstone didn't make the list. Are you mad at me because of Tombstone? Even Doug Kai, who I love, who, by the way, I'm very glad that he got in on this because Doug's my guy. He made a comment to me that he feels that I missed one. And I'm in on Doug, so he can always have an opinion because the opinions are always welcome. But he thought that the Totino's Party Pizza should have made the list. See? Topher loved the list. Riz is out on the Bobato? What's that? Is that the Bobbly you mean? Man, I rattled some cages today, huh? Jeez. All right, real quick story. Story time? You like stories, Skess?
I like stories.
All right. I like stories, too. All right. I'm out on motorcycles. Did I ever tell you that? I'm out on motorcycles. I don't,
Have you ever been on one?
Well, I've been, like, on the back of one before. But I've never cycled. Come on now.
Joe, I'm trying not to laugh, but imagining you on the back of a motorcycle there is a comedic element. There's no denying that.
I was a kid at the time, okay? I was a kid.
I'm imagining adult Joe on the back of a motorcycle.
With a helmet that doesn't fit.
A sidecar. Get you out there in one of those sidecars.
All right. So, do you want the headline or the story?
Unfortunately, Joe, I'm familiar with the story, so why don't you tell the people the headline?
Poor fella. Splits penis in motorcycle accident. Infection post-surgery leads to amputation. Says the incident has improved his sex life. I don't even know if we should read the story, but we just leave it at that. This poor fella, split his penis in a motorcycle accident. He got an infection during the surgery. They had to amputate his penis. Now, since the incident, he has an improved sex life.
That was enough for me.
No, but now you're living. Now you're living in the world with amputated penis.
Sounds like a bad band name.
Talk about No Noodle Tuesday. There has to be interest, right, from women on this one?
Everyone's got a fetish, right, Joe?
No, but like this story that's gone out now about this guy.
We don't shame. We don't shame on the night show.
No, I don't, but like, I mean,
the article leaves more questions than answers, I would say.
I'll say this. Props to this guy for persevering, right?
Props to him for, going public, too.
In a bad season, he'll never be able to do again, though. And I just wonder if he'll be okay. But it sounds like his life is better.
He's having a no Toodle Tuesday, no Noodle Wednesday, no Noodle Thursday.
Or Friday. Or Saturday. Or Sunday. I don't even want to read the story, but
the headline tells enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Did you hear about in Ipswich there was a shark at Cranes Beach? Like, sharks on the North Shore, bro. Doesn't happen often.
Out on that.
Yeah, because, I go in that water. Cranes Beach is beautiful. Oh, it's like, you want clams? That's the clam capital of the world. Brokerage Babe, I will put the link in chat for you because I just feel like this is right up your alley. I don't know you well, babe.
She's already wrote in the chat. Please tell me where this is so I can look it up. I
don't know her well, okay, but I just know this one's right up there for her. But again, this is why I brought it up. There has to be interest, right? Like, this is one where it might pique someone's interest. I might need a quick education and move on, maybe.
I went up to my room. I said, "Oh."
Well, they won't let me. I can't post it. I don't know why it won't let me. Anyways. What do we got for birthdays today? Happy birthday to Patrick Mahomes. 29 years old today for him. Well, let's see. Hank Williams Sr., rest in peace. Austin Matthews, 27 years old today. You got anything?
I got Rasheed Wallace.
Ooh.
He's 50 years old today.
What do you think he's doing right now?
Rasheed's probably having a great time.
I heard he used to live near the Waltham area.
I met him once. Super nice guy.
How tall is he?
It was the first time in my life I went to shake his hand, dap him up, whatever, and my hand just disappeared inside his hand.
Do you know what I think would be really funny? 50 Shades of Sheed.
I called him Mr. Wallace, and he said, "Just call me Sheed." And I was like, all right.
50 Shades of Sheed. Happy birthday to John Ritter. Three's Company, Problem Child, the dad. He was great. He died too early.
Happy birthday to Alex Ovechkin.
Ooh.
39 years old.
Ooh.
Also, Mark Brunell's 54th birthday.
That's the guy who cried? The
yes,
who cried?
Former Jags quarterback who cried.
Okay. Cassandra Patterson, 73 years old. Paul Feig, 62 years old today. Baz Luhrmann, 62 years old today. He made that new Elvis movie in Moulin Rouge, if you remember that.
That is comedian Bobby Lee's 52nd birthday today.
I like Bobby Lee. Danielle Brooks, 35 years old today. Denise Taunts, 30 years old today. She was on a soap opera that I remember. Let's see here.
And Danielle Brooks, who you just mentioned, is in that HBO show with John Cena, Peacemaker. She is very good in that show.
Oh. Okay. Well, that was a lot. And say, hey, Nadia, I want noodles.
I'm upset.
Because I will. They got the best noodles in town, the best dumplings in the area. But, sometimes, it's like you just don't want to put someone out of their way. Skaz, I'm like that. When you're like, hey, you want sun here? I'm like, nah, I don't want to put you out of your way. I know it's your job, but I just don't want you to go out of the way.
Just doing my job.
I know, but I didn't get noodles.
What will happen first, Joe? Will you get the Detroit Motor City Pizza or will you get noodles?
Busy day tomorrow. I'll get 2 podcasts with Liv Schatz. Got to prep for a show that we only have 30 minutes for. I don't know. I do have a I do have one of those frozen pizzas already in my fridge, that cauliflower one I was telling you about. It's probably noodles. It's probably noodles. And you know what? What do you put on noodles? What do you like? I like beef, chicken, shrimp. I'll do it all. Give me it all.
I like the glass noodles with some pork or something like that. Maybe some mushrooms in there. All over that.
Do you like pad thai?
Oh, yeah. Can't go wrong with a good pad thai.
Do you put those peanuts on it?
I do like the peanuts.
Yeah, and that other sauce. What is that stuff? I just like it. Don't know what it is, but
no questions asked.
I do sniff it, though. I sniff it first. But now this is what I want now. I want noodles with beef, with dumplings, pork dumplings. I want crab rangoons. I want the sauce from Dumpling Daughter. And they have incredible hot honey wings. I want those too. And then they make this chicken katsu that is amazing. And then they have these dessert donuts that I don't know what they are, but they're incredible. Now I feel like I need to make a call. See, anyway, this is the whole point.
I got
to get noodles without a call.
I got some Dumpling Daughter in my freezer right now.
Oh!
Pick them up at the store.
Boil them first and put them in a pan and put some sauce on it. Throw them in some noodles. You got to go to headlines here. I'm Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
WBC-FM and HD Boston.
Patriots!
It's an all-new season for the Patriots.
Wow.
And you'll hear it all right here.
Yes.
Your home of the Pats. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox lost. Patriots play on Thursday night. They'll be potentially without Vidarian Lowe. And City Sal, they did cut Jalen Reagor today, so that he's done now. And what else is going on? Lawrence Guy signed with the Bengals. Tua Tagovailoa is on injured reserve, so the Patriots will miss him too. And the Bruins open training camp tomorrow. Headlines, they are brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. With a 90% customer satisfaction rating and thousands of 5-star reviews, you too will succeed. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Joe Murray, and I want my noodles.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5, the Sports Hub app. Get the app.
All right, back there, 98.5, the Sports Hub. As I was telling that story, because I was upset. It's a Tuesday. I wanted noodles. Why was the place closed on a Tuesday?
I'm upset.
Why? And as I'm doing that, our buddy Hooch is texting me photos of noodles. Yes, that's the noodles I want, Hooch. I want noodles in a pan with some sort of sauté, whatever. I don't care if there's mushrooms and vegetables except for lettuce. Put them on there. I want them. And then the question was asked. Would you like lo mein in a plastic container or the food box? And I told you, today I wanted it out of the food box. Today I wanted it out of the box. But if we were sharing, Skaz, I would want the plastic container with the nice little top that sometimes you got to put elastic around it, you know? Should we take these calls? Seems like people are in on this one. All right, Nick, what do you got, buddy?
Hey, I'm just trying to set the record straight here. Like, barbers are just like everybody else, especially the service industry, right? Mondays, a lot of places are closed.
these guys work on the weekends, man. They need a day off. They need maybe 2 days off.
Oh, I don't disagree. I'm not against it. It's just that,
Well, you can't get fired up, but that the bar is closed on a Monday. Man, this guy needs to like hang with his family. He needs to like recoup. You know what I mean?
Do you own a barbershop?
I do not. No, I'm actually I build custom homes.
Oh, really?
I do.
Like what kind of custom homes? Like a
high end custom homes, mostly like Southern Rhode Island coastal stuff.
Okay, so you're like you get the nice stuff, the like Watch Hill and all that.
No, like Narragansett, Matunic,
you got nice homes.
Watch Hill. If you can get in Watch Hill, it's awesome.
I got a question
it's
for
game.
you. Have you ever made a container bar house?
A container bar house?
No. You know those container bars, like you're like
a shipping container.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
All right, so I'm kind of against, like, it's a new fad. They did a big one in Providence, and turned it into office space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of against that because like you're kind of like you're stuck to like the size of the container.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The insulation in the Northeast isn't. You're not going to get like proper like.
You got to put some heaters in there and
space,
everything like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not really feasible. You know, some crazy architects and designers will have at it, but
here's the deal, Nick.
Usually an S show. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Here's the deal. I'm down with a barber shop being closed on a Monday. It's like it's a national thing, but I don't want my noodles to be closed on a Tuesday.
All right, so here's the deal with the noodles. I'm a foodie myself. I do a ton of cooking. Like I do a lot of fusion stuff. Like it's one of my passions.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you choose beef lo mein as opposed to like a house lo mein, where you're going to get the shrimp that you were just talking about? You're going to get the chicken. You're going to get the beef. You're going to get the pork.
Well,
you're going to get everything, as opposed to just like the limited. Listen, I feel like if you and me spent a Friday night out, I would take you to a couple places, and you'd eat salad after that.
No, bro, I can't do salad.
All right, listen, I'm telling you.
No, Nick,
like,
I'm telling you.
If you're a real foodie,
Sketch,
like,
you've been out with me. Am I going to eat salad?
It's the integration of tastes that actually like create like flavors that will like.
No, I get it. I understand. Dude, listen. If it's fried,
dude, I don't eat lettuce either.
If there's fried and lettuce in it, I sometimes eat it.
I eat kale. I eat spinach. I don't eat iceberg lettuce. It's probably been 15 years since I ate iceberg lettuce. But there's good greens that make it. You ever had? All right. So, say a local spot for me is like a good spot would be Trattoria Romana.
I know it. Yeah.
They make a prosciutto with mixed greens, balsamic. Like, it's fantastic.
I know. I
even
just
if you
don't like salad.
Yeah. Well, all right.
All right. Thanks, Nick. You come out with me, Joe. You'll eat salad. Okay. Should we take more of these or go to break? I don't know. You know what? I think we're on a roll. Bus is in Natick. Hey, Bus.
Joe, good evening. Big noodle guy here. Guy kind of stole my thunder there. Big house lo mein guy.
House.
Love a house lo mein. Don't like to limit myself to beef or chicken, seafood, whatever.
Okay.
I just
wanted the box, though. So that's why I was thinking beef.
No.
Because back in the day, I grew up in the city, so, Charlie Chan's was open till 3 a.m. in JP, so, that was my thing,
The box food, the box noodle is for individual use or car session.
Yes.
The plastic is for more formal, like bringing it home to the family, sharing, whatever. Mm-hmm. Joe, you got to try the chow foon noodle. Great. Love the chow foon. It's like a ribbon. It's like very wide. Awesome. Beautiful texture. They do it right. It's unbelievable. If you're over by Dumpling Daughter, I got to give you a referral. Yeah. Nothing. It's kind of off topic. Wayland Deli and Variety. They got a Siberian train wreck sub sandwich on a braided roll. It's corned beef, pastrami, house mayo. I think they put Swiss on it, little onion. Oh my God. Got to get after that. Just a mile down the road from Dumpling Daughter.
All right. Liv Schatz has told me about that place. Thank you. The Siberian Siberian what? Tony's in Wilmington. Tony.
Joey, I'll be quick. So if we're talking about getting the best bang for your buck, boxed lo mein always is going to get you a better value. There's
Always.
more meat.
Thank you.
However, juices tend to go to the bottom, so you got to dump it out and give it a stir.
What if I eat it fast?
There is that. Plastic container, you just agreed with me. You get better distribution of juice, but you get way less food. Other point, on the beefs, we're not talking beefs, but I am originally from Medford. I now live up here in the sticks in Wilmington. Got a referral to try Tessie's roast beef in Andover a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's the best roast beef I've ever had in my life. It's like a filet mignon on a roll.
It's a big beef, too. I prefer Jamie's, but yes, Tessie's is right up there, bro.
That's it, buddy. I love you.
Thank you. One more? Tom. Hi, Tom.
Joe, hey, how do you feel about the obsession with Taco Tuesday?
It's overrated. You know who ruined it for me? LeBron. Why does it have to be Taco Tuesday? Why can't it be Taco Thursday? I'll eat tacos whenever you want. How about noodles in tacos? Why not? Now I'm going to look up that Siberian sub. We got to go to break. I'm Joe Murray here in the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
Back here in 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's No Noodle Tuesday here. How did we go from No Noodle Tuesday to the Mike motorcycle story? Again, we were here. We've been here since 7 o'clock, everybody. Do you know the 90 minutes of this show, we didn't get a call? We didn't get a call.
The only calls we got were people upset about your pizza rankings.
Yes, that's it. And noodles. Or upset that I prefer the beef lo mein out of a box than getting the house that has the shrimp and the chicken and the beef. Like, that really pissed people off. And then a guy from Rhode Island wants to tell me that I got to go out with him and my life would be changed.
Become a lettuce connoisseur after that.
I'm telling you, the lettuce thing won't happen. If it was like, Joe, you have to eat this salad for $1 million, I'd do it. But, like, it's not going to go down. But I'll get my $1 million.
Is it Nance or Michaels that's like never had a vegetable?
Oh, it was Al Michaels.
Yeah. You're on the Al Michaels diet.
No. I eat plenty of vegetables. I eat all greens too. I love broccoli. I love asparagus. I'll eat cream spinach. I don't really like spinach and I don't like any raw vegetables. Like, I love carrots, but I don't eat them cold. I like them hot. I love veggies. Brussels sprouts are one of my favorite things, but they have to be hot. I don't do lettuce. I don't like kale, and I hate the smell of it all. Like an antipasta, out! That thing stinks. Smells, reeks, out. No. No. No.
You sure about that?
This is what got me fired up tonight, huh? This.
It's funny because halfway through the show, you were like, what am I going to do for musings tonight? And I was like, weren't you upset about a little No Noodle Tuesday earlier tonight?
Like this guy, Chris Dugan. He's like, Joe hasn't had a good salad. Bro, you know when I go to Lambert's, you ever seen a Lambert's? Growing up, I grew up near a Pizza Hut. That Pizza Hut salad bar was the greatest invention ever created. Lambert's, I'm telling you.
I do like the idea that you're in your 40s, Joe. Never had a good salad in your life. It's not that you just couldn't possibly, not like lettuce. No, it's that you've never had a lettuce the correct way.
Thinks. Yeah. Like me, I would go to a salad. If I went up to a salad bar right now, I'd get a plate. I would get croutons. I would get the bacon bits. I'd get the cheese. I'd get all that stuff. And then I would get the Caesar dressing or whatever dressing you wanted, and I'd pile it on. But that green lettuce, no. 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 And that would be me. Listen, okay, I used to work corporate jobs, like tech jobs, and they used to feed us lunch every day. There were these programs where like you name it, Sam LaGrosse's would come in, right? A pastrami. Yeah, I'm telling you. Like the chicken and rice guys would come in. I'm talking these great. Like the Euro City would come in making you Euros. Oasis Brazilian would come in. Like the greatest just catering companies in the world. And then it would be salad day from Big Salad. And I'd just be out. I'd go down to the Cambridge Side Galleria and I would go to Sarku, Japan. Because you know what? Extra chicken, extra sauce.
Oh.
But yeah, I used to have the greatest catering service of my life. And on salad day, I just couldn't do it. Oh, man. Do you have any clips from me tonight or anybody else? Some guy yelled, "Oh my God," earlier, and I thought it was great. Anything else from tonight? Any drops from this show at all?
The caller we just had fighting with you about the lettuce, I almost caught up.
Oh. All right. Well, I don't know what we were going to do there. Riz wants to hear the slurp I did last night. What was the slurp about?
I don't know if I even remember.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm never playing that again, Riz.
What was I doing that about now, though?
I don't know, but I did not like that.
Now I can't remember what it was about. I was slurping, though.
You certainly were.
You didn't like the sound.
I had to take the headphones off for that one. Provocative.
Oh, man. The custom house builder and master chef.
Lettuce extraordinaire.
I'm sorry. I do like you, man. You sounded cool. You did give me the house lo mein over the beef. So, and again, everyone understood the box versus the plastic. Everyone understood. Even Hooch. He's now telling me I got to try the Guy Poo lo mein over at Kowloon. So now I feel like I got to call Andy now and get the Guy Poo Guy Poo lo mein. Those Hooch noodles, though, I got to tell you. Oh. Stouffer's French bread pepperoni frozen pizza is the best. I don't even know what those pepperonis are, bro. Matt in our chat says Bob's in Medford is the best steak and cheese. I went to Bob's last week. I went to Bob's Deli and got a pastrami on a braided roll. And when I went in there, they go, "Hey, Joe, I saw you on TV." I said, "Oh, yeah." And then I walked out. True story. JP's in North Providence. Hey, JP.
Joe is a Rhode Islander. I watched The Departed. I will never tell you from Boston area what to do, Joe.
You look like
you know where to go for food. We go to you for the expertise. Joe, I got the solution on a salad. It's a caprese salad. You go see Linda Petrillo's like we did last weekend. Yeah. Tomato, mozzarella, no lettuce, no nothing, done.
They know, though. When I go see Mike or Dom or one of those guys or even Linda, they put it with they'll wrap it right in a hand and hand it to me, and they know not to put any lettuce on it.
You can always do it that way. But, Joe, big question tonight, and it's a great range of top. I must admit, you did throw some sports in there the first hour. That's why I had no calls, but okay. Do you use chopsticks when you're using your noodles, or do you have to go to...
Listen, I'm a fork guy. I'm a fork. I said fork, right? Fork. Sometimes it comes out different. I'm a fork guy, but sometimes with the box, I like to mess around with the chopsticks. But I'm a fork spinner when it comes to noodles.
See, and I'm old school. I love a good poo-poo platter. Then you don't have to decide what the hell you're getting. You got the sterno on top. It's outstanding. I'm surprised you didn't call the Wong Father. I put it in the chat. I figured you call the Wong Father and he makes one call to that restaurant. They deliver it to your house, I'm guessing.
This is my whole point was I could have called Andy. I could have called Nadi. I could have called any of my friends. And they would have had it on a silver platter. They might have even delivered it. Who knows? I didn't want to put anyone out of my way today.
Hey, listen, the Patriots punting on fourth down. Joe's not upset. Damn noodles not available on a Tuesday. Get out of my way.
Now, listen, you work in the clothing industry, correct?
I do, Joe.
Is there a specific day that the clothing business is not open?
No, we're open every day, but typically Tuesdays, even a Chinese restaurant where I go to in North Providence, they close Tuesday because Monday's too busy of a day. So they pick Tuesday to close.
So now I need to be aware of barbers closed on Mondays and Asian restaurants being closed on Tuesday.
And I put it in the chat, dry cleaners, Joe, too. I'd hate to be you show up for that, that pink polo you need for tonight's show, and then they're closed, Joe. You're going to be fuming.
What's closed on a Wednesday now?
Ooh. There you go. There's a topic for another night. Tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. Stores that should be closed on a Wednesday. Love it.
What's closed on Wednesdays?
Don't know.
And here's the other thing.
Here's another thing. Used to be Prince Spaghetti Day, though.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, yeah, it was. Here's another thing. You don't get roast beef sandwiches on a Monday because it's beef from the weekend.
Oh, that's a good point, Joe. Great show tonight. Love the topic. What we learned tonight, don't ride a motorcycle.
I'm glad that's the takeaway of the night. That's the takeaway of the night. Don't do bikes, or the bikes will do you. We got the final headline of the night here. I'm Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Jets and Patriots play on Thursday night. No Venerian Lowe, no City Sow, no O'Shane Jimenez, no Juwan Bentley, who could be out for the season with a pectoral injury. Jalen Reagor, he is out too. He got cut. right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Thank you for everybody hanging out tonight. We don't really have a show tomorrow night. We have a half hour and then the Revs game, and then we're on post game. So for everybody in YouTube, maybe I'll throw out the Discord tomorrow night. There is a Discord. I believe it's the Joe Murray Show. I don't know. I got to look it up now. But we do have a Discord channel if you want to hang out when we're not on the air. I can't find it. I don't know. We had one. Maybe I'll try to find that. But it's a place where you can go when we're not on the air and you guys can hang out. And I'm looking for it, but I can't find it. So maybe I'll share that with you guys at some other point. But I do have a Discord. I believe it's the Joe Murray Show. But I can't remember. So I'll have to dig that up somewhere. Anyways.
It is the Joe Murray Show.
Okay, you're on it, Scass.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Discord. Joe Murray Show. All right, cool. Well, that's a place you guys can all go and hang out. Tomorrow night, you guys can just hang out in there and chat all night. And you can actually post things in there, I believe. I must have lost the Discord app. I had it on my phone. And now I can't find it. I just have apps about cards. Use this, Joe, to scan your card. Okay, I'll do that. So we saw something on the television here, Skaz, that kind of got you going a little bit. You thought I was upset about No Noodle Tuesday. I wanted to throw it in, maybe I did throw it in Slack, but it was Andrew Callahan, who I like, friend of the show, now in the mornings. I believe Callahan Tuesdays they have, but No Noodle Tuesdays. Andrew Callahan, I'd play Joe Milton over Drake May if Brissett gets hurt. That one went up your craw.
Yeah, you could say that, Joe. I think it's almost organizational malpractice, in my opinion. Maybe that's a little strong, but if Jacoby Brissett goes down and you put Joe Milton in over Drake May, I think you're doing a disservice to your football team. Joe Milton is nowhere near ready. He was a 6th-round draft pick for a reason. You've watched Joe Milton play football. I've watched Joe Milton play football. Is he awesome at practicing football? Apparently so. Everyone raves about him in practice. When he actually has to play football in football games, Joe Milton is not excellent. He is basically Bazooka Joe is what he's lovingly referred to by Alex Barth and many others. If you think Joe Milton is going to run an Alex Van Pelt offense, I don't know what to tell you. Joe Milton is not going to throw screen passes or 5-yard outs. That's not who he is. And I think it's a bad look for an organization to take a quarterback 3 overall, and then let's play out the scenario. Jacoby Brissett goes down, and you're going to say, let's not play our rookie that we drafted 3 overall, the future of our franchise, because he's not ready. Let's throw the 6th-round pick, who's clearly not ready, out there to the Wolves, basically as a tackling dummy to save Drake May for a couple more weeks. If Jacoby Brissett goes down, that means your offensive line is bad. We all know the offensive line is bad, and Jacoby Brissett has taken multiple shots that I don't know if your guy Bailey Zappi would have been able to take and bounce back up from. So I think if Jacoby Brissett goes down, putting Joe Milton back there is a horrible look for the organization. You're sending a kid out there who, plain and simple, just isn't ready to be back there. I don't think it would be fair to Joe Milton. I think it's a bad look for the team. It's Joe Milton is a project. He has all the tools. He's bigger. You're going to put him back there because he can take a beating better than Drake May, because he can take a couple of hits because he's a bigger guy. I just think that's an awful position to be in as a franchise. If you're saying, well, we don't really want to sacrifice Drake May, the future of the franchise, so we don't really care about Joe Milton, 6th-round pick. Let's throw him out there and let him get his ass handed to him, because that'll save Drake May for a few more weeks. I can't get on board with that.
Yeah, I'd rather just sign some other scrub.
Yeah, if you feel that strongly that Drake May would get killed behind this offensive line, put another veteran back there. Don't send out the 6th-round rookie.
Is it just because he's bigger?
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's just a horrible look for the team. Oh, this guy's big. He can take a beating. You don't draft rookie quarterbacks to send them out there to the Wolves. We talked about how bad quarterback play is across the NFL, passing league average down to 1979 levels. So let's throw the 6th-round pick out there because he can take a beating. That is not where I want my football team to be.
I'm trying to look up how many times Joe Milton has been sacked in college. I don't know if they have that information. Nope, right. Okay. I feel like he hasn't been sacked a lot, Skaz. So, like, the first hit he gets at an NFL level, he did play at Florida, played at Tennessee. He played at Michigan, and Tennessee. I'm trying to see. I don't see sacks. And I'm trying to see if there is a stat there for that. I don't see one. But just because of his size?
I just think that's unfair to Joe Milton. I think that's just a horrible look if you're saying, well, Jacoby Brissett got hurt. We want to protect Drake May. Let's throw the other rookie quarterback out there. I like Joe Milton. I think he's a project. I'm not sure if he's, ever going to be an NFL starter, but you throw him out there week 5, week 6 behind this offensive line trying to run a run-heavy, short pass offense that they've been running. It's a recipe for disaster. You've seen Joe Milton play. Would he be good at running an Alex Van Pelt offense?
Nobody could throw the ball far, though.
Yeah, he would chuck it to nobody.
Oh yeah, or you could just hand it off every play.
They couldn't protect him long enough for his receivers to run down the field far enough as he can throw it.
Unless the Cardona is like long snapping it to him, right, and then he just throws it. I don't know. Do you think Thornton could get some separation in that situation?
Yeah, if he doesn't get tossed like a rag doll at the line of scrimmage because he's a $120 soaking wet.
There's conflicting how many times he's been sacked, but let's just say it's not a lot. 21, 38, I don't know the number. But just because he's bigger doesn't mean it's better. On No Noodle Tuesday.
Yeah, let's sign Brock Osweiler because he's 6'6" and can take a beating. It's just That's a bad spot
Joe
to be in.
Flacco too, he's big too, right?
If you're that afraid of Drake May getting hurt, you can't do that to Joe Milton.
Skaz out on that take. Out.
Yeah, and it's because he's a rookie. Jacoby Brissett is a veteran. He knew what he was getting into. These guys will take the opportunities. He'll take the beating. It's his last chance. Doing that to a rookie is it's just malpractice.
Paul, you got 10 seconds. What do you got, bud?
Best sandwich, Italian sandwich in Boston is in the North End at Rico. You ever been there?
Very good. Thank you, sir. Skaz, tomorrow we'll give our predictions. How about that? 30-minute show interrupted by the Revs. Will be on postgame as well. No show on Thursday night. I got more Jets and Patriots. I'm going to bet Rodgers to go under 250 yards, though. For James Karamazino, I'm Joe Murray. Talk to you guys tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.